Oh, it works. I hope it works.
God, I hope.
All
right. Do you want me to do the intro?
Yeah, since this is gonna be a Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, you can do it.
Sure. Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. This is Jake from State Farm, president of Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I'm joined by
James, president of Video Game Club.
Yeah, today we're doing our director's commentary, I guess, on Marvel VGC Endgame in its entirety. We wanted to do initially a really big podcast with like a whole bunch of special guests, but then we ran out of time, and I mean, well, like we're graduating in a week basically, so you know
it would have been hard to get so many people there, and we were gonna do it. It's just shit happened.
Yeah. So TLDR, shout outs to like Daniel, Crash, Lex.
Anyone that you see in the videos, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to anyone in the videos, but specifically those people, and also, like, I think Kira was one of the people we wanted to get on. We had a whole list, and then it just never happened, unfortunately.
Maybe we can have some cutaways of those people if they give us stuff soon enough.
Yeah, that was the goal. So I guess first off here, we have the Endgame apology video. Actually, before we get to that.
Even before that, like, scripts were basically written during Jake Eater.
Yeah.
Because I remember sitting at home for like 3 days, just like cranking them out after class. So I do have the original script up. At least, so I wrote everything, or at least a majority of like midtro 1, 2, 3, and outro, and then you wrote like the beginning part of intro.
Yes,
and then
I remember the color coding was a bitch.
Yeah, and then I did like the second half. I did a decent amount of the Barbie stuff for that intro, but yeah, the how the scripts were is not how they turned out to be at all.
Not at all. And I do want to say what happened was James and I were talking about crossovers 3 and 4 before Jake Eater happened. And I was like, by the way, James, I want to go all out for Endgame. And he's like, yeah, no, absolutely. What do you have in mind? And I was like, so, we're like spitting ideas back and forth. And then I dropped the fact that I wanted 5 videos. And he's like, okay, sure. And then that's when you started doing the, because I gave you the files, and I'm like, yeah, I want to hit these beats. And then you were cooking so hard. I woke up one morning to 52 email notifications from Google Drive telling me that James Gans is editing Midtro 1, 2, and 3. And so I send a screenshot of that to James. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And you're like, I'm sorry, I'm cooking. And I'm like, keep going, you're doing great. And you signed a like saluting emote. It's not you saluting, because this was before that.
Yeah, it was that regular emoji.
Yeah, just some regular guy. It was, but... Yeah, no, we were cooking.
It was, writing those, trying to go back into my mindset there, I think it was just like, what would the club like? Like, we definitely had the idea where we wanted to do some funny multiverse stuff, and you kind of clearly laid that out throughout the intro, because we
Spider-Verse.
We always originally had the idea of, like, us going into different multiverses or dimensions. So, when I was like, all right, where can we go? We knew that, like, I'm in jail. Jake VGC is like taking over, and he's trying to do all his funny little shenanigans. So I was like, what can we do from there? And I guess taking off of like Endgame, I was like, okay. And then also for like Spider-Verse as well, I was like, all right, we need to fix. There's like critical canon events, because we already had Jordan dying, and we were like, oh, that's not supposed to happen. So we created a few other events. Like, to show how much we planned this, I think the 24 hour is a perfect example.
Yes.
Because we had that video basically queued up for, I want to say, like 2 weeks.
Well, it had to have been the week leading up to Jake Eater, because I had the goatee.
You had to shave, that's right.
Which kind of makes some timeline issues for Endgame. Who cares?
I don't give a fuck at this point. But that shows that we basically had almost the biggest like plot points already figured out before Jake Eater. The Jake Eater crossover.
I remember Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. board was like they were like, what the fuck? Because even before Jake Eater was like, this was like right after it was announced. This was like week 2 or 3, and I'm telling them, hey, I got these plans in the works. And I was telling them about part 4. I'm like, we have to start thinking about part 4 now. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And by we, you mean you.
Yes. But the first mention of Endgame in the crossover chat between all the officers, this was October 1st, 2023. And I'm just like, hey, brief update on round 3. We have enough prompts, so I'm going to be able to make the Wheel of Fortune games. Now for the big link drop. The above link is for Marvel plus VGC Endgame. This is a secret to everybody. This does not leave the chat under any circumstances. And it's basically me explaining the fact that, hey, we're doing stuff. And that's also when I was asking you to get into New Willard 113 for the
editing booth or whatever.
For the Usual Suspects location. That fell through. But we talked about that last podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just very sad.
But yeah, I think it just shows how passionate we are through this project, just because of how like ahead of time we were thinking about it and how in depth we truly wanted to go. So. And I mean, sadly, well, not sadly, but the scripts like changed throughout the entire thing. They changed literally up until like filming, but that's because I didn't know like most of the Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. board at that point. So I
didn't know some of the Students of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well,
board.
yeah. We literally, I remember for Adam's part, we didn't know who the treasurer was going to be, so
and we didn't know Evan was. We weren't planning on making a comics chair.
That's right. So
yeah, so when Hydra dropped out, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Actually, I could just slide Evan right in there. I didn't have to worry about adding a third person for a scenario.
But yeah, the scripts just kept changing because I don't know how these people talk. I don't know their like mannerisms or whatever. So
and I think it helps that we just have the beats in there because we let them make the character. Basically,
I think it works out really well. So our final script I changed to be the specifically what everyone actually said, but. No, I think, the scripts are mostly just like a guideline for people, and that's what we said when we filmed. We were just like, you don't have to say exactly what's said on the script. Like, if you want to change it to be your own and like improv it a little bit, that's totally okay. And everyone was totally cool with that, and I think that really helped make it more, like everyone had a piece to play in it, and like everyone got to be like, I did this specific thing because I wanted to.
Exactly.
Which I think helps make it just the project that it is today. So I don't really have anything else on scripts, to be honest, but
well, I think that's most of the setup. Should we talk about like I feel like we've mentioned the fact that you've been thinking about this since Jake Eater, and I've been thinking about it since round 2, right? Just the multiverse facet of it, or should we get to that later?
I mean, we can talk about it kind of now because we talk about it in the second podcast, but we had the 2 Jakes there, and we were like, haha, funny bit. But I don't know if it goes deeper than that.
It does because of the better Alex scenario, which we can get back to that when we get to that section. Yeah. So but I think that's really all we need for the intro to this podcast, like just the script writing and going through hell. We could talk about the filming when we get to those parts, because there were filming issues, believe me.
Let's talk about these apology videos. So originally it was only going to be the real video
at Nerd Night.
At Nerd Night. The one where I'm in jail and you break me out, basically. But the reason that we split it up into like a fake apology and then the real apology, which was the real teaser, was because VGC likes to do directs, like Nintendo Direct. We spoof that into showing what events we're gonna do and whatnot. It's always really hype. Our members really enjoy it, and I think it's a good way to structure like what we're gonna be doing throughout the semester to get people hype. So during I think we were planning on we were just playing out the direct, and an idea came to mind because before we usually have like an ending thing that's pretty big. Like before it was the 24-hour like IRL Among Us. I remember that being huge.
And then Jake Eater.
Yeah. So I wanted to do another one. I wanted to do something else that was really funny, and I didn't want people to expect it. So while we recorded the final parts that we need to record for the teaser, I don't know if I brought it up then or before, but I was like, it would be really funny if we had like a fake out during the direct. And so that's exactly what it is. Like we play this apology video where it's me and Jake just like sitting down and apologizing, and then you made a really cool spoof off of the Endgame trailer.
Yes.
And then like the whole big reveal is at the end. We're supposed to be like, haha, we pranked you, and then we play the real teaser, but we
did not do that. Well, I mean, we did, but we didn't. Not in that way. Because I remember, weren't we originally going to do the IRL Among Us again for the final, and then you switched it?
I don't remember if I did because we were gonna do IRL Among Us, but that fell through. But yeah, I don't remember specifically. I feel like when we had the idea of the fake out, I then definitely wanted Endgame to be last because we had this one more or less in the middle, and then we had like the one more thing, and then we would play the teaser.
Yeah. So I guess we can just go through the fake apology video. So the whole bit where we're talking about not having the teaser done, because we were down to the wire. This was like 2 days. I think it was 2 days before. And me saying my tummy hurts, I'm being really brave about it.
That was real.
That was real. So it was Involvement Fair Day, I think that Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And I was there for Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. I was ready. I was hyped. I was so excited to meet new people. I was so nervous. I didn't eat anything before going. So I went to Jamba, and I got myself a peanut butter mood. It's like one of my favorites, and I chugged it. Oh my God, that was horrible. I felt nauseous. I went home because I couldn't stand. I was like in the fetal position all day, and Steve just kept going in like, hey, you good? I'm like, no, I'm not. And, James is like, hey, you good to record? I'm like, dude, I can try. So I'm like trudging to the hub.
Did we record more this night, or did we only record those beginning parts? Do you remember?
I think we also recorded the real
us
parts.
Talking us in the room.
I think.
Maybe I don't.
I can't check anymore because I did unfortunately delete all the footage off my phone because it was taking up like 30 gigabytes.
Yeah. The other funny thing I kind of want to mention, nothing too deep, but with I'm wearing green Luigi beanie in this one, and then I'm wearing a red one in the other one. I just flip it inside out. So I thought that would be a kind of a tell.
Yeah, symbolism.
To be like, oh, this is a little goof, a little ha-ha, and then I'm wearing the actual one and the other one. I don't know how many people actually noticed that, but I thought that was a funny little goof.
Yeah. So let's just go through the footage real quick on the apology video. So there's me and James apologizing for not having the thing done.
Do we want to just play it and then we'll pause it? And be like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I could just click through because
okay.
I know it pretty well. So the first video clip that goes is the round one intro where I enter Willard. And then the next one where I'm like, God, it seems like 1,000 years ago. That's a panoramic I took of the first crossover. It was a plan of mine to take one of those at every crossover. And I just never did after round one. I just never kept taking any. But it's in our memories. We know people were there.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm I'm right in the middle.
Yeah, you're right in the middle. Yeah. Shouts to Trevor. He's right next to you.
Yeah,
he's working the camera.
We were fucking with the camera, and I definitely did not do my job.
Let's see. After that is Family Feud. The first question of the VPs going against each other. That's also James. Do you remember your team name?
No.
Not the top of your head. I can probably look it up later. But I remember the first question here was name an Avenger. And I'm pretty sure.
I remember I could not think of an Avenger for some reason.
No, I think you both got the number 1 and 2 answers, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember.
I don't know. You guys can watch. Actually, you can't watch the footage because I'm still the only one that has it. I can stitch. I'm going to go back and stitch all the old footage I've got lying around. I'll upload that. It's been something I've been meaning to do. And then, of course, the ending of the intro where it's me and Jordan and it's doing the Smash Brothers thing.
Yeah, panning around.
Then it's the Jake Eater reveal from VGC. God, I love that clip because just everyone popping off. And then it's got the flashback to round 2 and round 3 with those intros and the trailer. Shouts to David Hayter. And then me and James giving the thumbs up at Jake Eater right before we start, because that's when I still didn't have the dress revealed. So I guess fun fact about the black section here, where James is like, when on earth have we ever said no more bits? And I'm like, oh yeah, well, there is a draft I have where it completely skips that part, or it completely skips the, oh yeah, well, in that case, I guess we don't have a choice. It skips that and goes straight to the logo reveal. But we opted to go with the longer version. So Marvel plus VGC, and it's got a great logo by Ryan, because we didn't have a logo for the Jake Eater outro. It was just using stock footage or stock text, basically.
Yeah. Shout out to Ryan for making our logos. Yeah, they're always sick.
So sick. That's
right. Oh, and then the other funny thing that we added, which is also on the other one as well. One member to rule them all.
Yes.
That was a. We had all the games planned basically before we announced it. Like, we knew we wanted to do Family Feud, Jeopardy, and Wheel of Fortune as
And
like
$1
a
Million.
homage. But and then we wanted to do $1 Million Pyramid for everyone who won those games. And we knew we were doing Trash Down for VGC. We had a different idea for Trash Down in general. Like, I think we talked about this on VGC podcast a little bit, which still has not come out. But
as of recording, it has not come out.
But at first, the Trash Down was only going to be, like, Marvel-based mods. And then, so, like, we were thinking of doing, I remember Crash found a bunch of, like, Spider-Man, a bunch of Iron Man, like, skins.
Are the Spider-Mans in the game?
I think some of them are. I think
everyone was a bit enamored with the other stuff.
Yeah.
To really care.
So, and then Alex Crash, I know we have a million Alexes. Alex Crash, now president of Video Game Club, he made a bunch of stages for us before, so he was saying maybe he could make, like, the Batcave or, like, Avengers Tower. Helicarrier.
Yeah, I was really excited to see those, but then we kind of got a little bit out of our depth.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
I completely forget how that even happened. But no, I'm happy that it did. I'm happy that we pivoted, and Alex and Madison and Jordan are all sick as hell for what they did.
Real.
So.
And we'll get to that after we analyze all this footage. We got a lot to go through here. And then, of course, we had former treasurer Alex and former secretary Ryan of Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. and VGC, respectively, as our snapped victims. They both died in Jake Eater, but, you know.
And then then we requested for extras to join, which you can see in the intro. But no, I think that apology video is so funny.
No, I love it. Honestly, it's one of my favorite shorter videos we have.
I agree.
Just because we play it so straight, where it's just like, God, it seems like 1,000 years ago. It's like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, no, I love the spoof. I think it's good.
Yeah, no, Definitely a great fake out. And Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. use it as a fake out too, because that's what I showed at the beginning of the meeting. Mm-hmm. And I showed the longer one like way later when there was only like maybe 10 people there.
No, that's sick.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all we got for the fake apology, right?
Yeah, we spent how long did we spend? 20... Oh, okay, only like 15 minutes for 2 minutes of content.
Well, I mean, we were also building up to the lead
No,
up.
I know, but we have so much more.
So much more. Okay. Do we want to stop it here just so in case we lose? So that way I can like upload it in chunks. Not in chunks, but like...
Yeah, sure.
Great. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see. The real apology. So
yeah, I'm in the red hat.
Yeah, James is in the red hat, and something we did for this was we were trying to spoof that bit in Across the Spider-Verse where Miles is like, "Guys, I messed up."
Like, were we? I didn't know that.
I know that's what you said. No,
did I?
Yeah, no, you were the one that said that. You were like, "Wouldn't it be funny if we did the thing where it's like, guys, like I messed up." I thought you were the one that said it. Wasn't me.
I might have. I just don't remember it personally.
This was a few months ago.
It definitely makes sense of why we would do that. I probably did, because I think Across the Spider-Verse came out a few months before then. But no, yeah, we just like I remember we had to record this a few times because I don't really speak until the ending part of it, but I wanted you to be like actually sorry, like more sorry than the first one.
Yeah.
But I wanted you to like full out be very sorry. The lights just turned off on us. Whatever, I guess it doesn't matter.
It's fine.
But and then I wanted to also be sorry. I wanted to come off as like apologetic, and then at the end I'm like, "Fuck you, we pranked you, idiot."
Yeah.
Like,
fuck you. Here's teaser for part 4.
And I think that worked out well. Like, I love how sad we look, and I don't know. I love my body language during those first 30 minutes or 30 seconds. Just because I don't know. I think I look sad there.
Yeah.
But no, I think it worked out really well. I thought the "fuck you" was funny. That got a few chuckles at the VGC direct meeting. I remember that. But
yeah, no, it definitely did. But yeah, and then it kind of goes into a quick recap. So let's do this one more time. That was both that's almost the same line as "all right, let's do this one last time" from Spider-Verse, which and it is a bit of a glitch effect. So it's like, oh, oh, we're getting into weird shit now.
Mhm.
And that's also what David Hayter says later, which we will get to.
We still gotta show that whole video.
I know we do. Oh, by the way, do you mind if I show people on Thursday and Friday this week the whole video?
No, I was gonna give you a time to show it.
Oh, perfect.
on
'Cause I'm
Friday.
showing it on Thursday.
Yeah,
So.
that's fine.
Okay, cool. Anyways, yeah, so, it's like last time, and we're just
We
going
just have
through.
a recap, yeah.
Yeah, very quickly. It felt really goofy editing this because I was trying to do it like every, like, serialized TV show ever and just
Yeah.
being like, oh, yeah, it's... someone else's lines over a different scene and it kind of matches.
No, and it works. I think it works really well.
I think it's really funny. It also kind of highlights the problem we have with Jake Eater with aspect ratios because it kind of keeps stretching and shrinking, but that's okay.
No, but we standardized that for
Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was ready this time. I also used Premiere Pro for everything after the teaser. So this is still Clip Champ, unfortunately. But yeah, so let's see here. So, so the date November 10th is important because that's where
that's when Nerd Night happens.
And Nerd Night is basically our excuse to accidentally create the Nerd Night cinematic universe.
Yes.
So, oh my god. Yeah, so basically this is just James improvising all over the place.
Yeah, I literally just had you set up the camera and then you were like, just like do whatever you want for a minute. I was like, okay. So yeah, I'm just sitting there. I'm mostly just like talking to myself. I have this banana. I'm pretty sure I've had this banana in my bag for like 2 days, and yeah, it literally got beat up because my shit was moving around my bag. So when I opened it, like the top of it came off, and I was like, you know what, I can make this into a bit. But yeah, I literally, Jake's just there because I don't think Steve was there for this recording.
For this
yet.
part, he wasn't. Yeah, 'cause he got there a little late because we didn't really tell him that we needed him. I said, oh, if you want, and then I realized, oh, we need him, actually.
Yeah. So it's me just like going off the rip. I edited this, right? I think I did.
Yes.
Yeah. So
you edited. I want to say you edited everything up until the
end.
They
when we
all
talked.
said no.
That's right. Yeah. So I basically just wanted to be able to use a bunch of random shit that I said and then could cut it together, and I think it works well. I mostly was doing it to show like the passage of time, more or less.
Yeah.
Other funny things within this scene, real quick. Yeah, there is a few Easter eggs. There's another Easter egg goes here, which is a classic within the Marvel VGC universe. We have a little Mogus guy, which I drew because I thought it was funny. And then I don't know how many people actually got this. The days since incarceration.
Yes.
There's 69 tallies on there.
And that is why James like how many days? Nice.
Yeah, I don't know how many people actually get that, but it's such a like a random throwaway.
But it is plot important though, because one that basically says when Jake Eater takes place, and I had Allie add that to the timeline, the quote unquote official timeline, because I think she asked me like, hey, like, are these dates right? And I said, actually, you have to go 69 days before this. And she's like, what the fuck? I'm like, trust it.
Yeah. And then
the orange shirt.
Yes, the orange shirt. I don't know the lore too much about the orange shirt. I just know that Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. hates it.
Yes. Okay. So the orange shirt is mine. It's one of my old Scout shirts. It's just an obnoxiously bright orange, but I love wearing it because I just like the color. I don't know. It also makes me easy to pick out in a crowd.
It's like, prisoner orange, which is why it's perfect.
Yes. And when there's a line that comes up where James is like, God, they put me in this stupid orange shirt. Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. understood. They understood.
Yeah. Do we also want to talk about this room? Because this room was kind of a bitch to get in general.
Yeah, you can talk about the room while I'm waiting for the next.
We did talk about this in podcast 3 in VGC a little bit, and it's the cultural lounge in North Commons, Warnock, and usually there's a lot of people in here. It's like a general study room. It's good for big groups. It's a really good room in general. So the first time we filmed in here, which was for Jake Eater, we didn't really have an issue.
We walked in and recorded, and that was it.
Yeah, more or less. We had to go back a few times, and some people are in there, but we were able to like green screen our way around it. But we wanted to record again for this scene specifically, and we realized that we could reserve the room as like a club because other like sororities and frats were doing it, using it as like their chapter meeting. So we're like, okay, how do we do this? We couldn't find it anywhere. So I went on like a wild goose chase for like 2 days. And I met with I met with like 3 different housing people to be like, can I get this room for 1 hour on like a Friday? And then we were able to get it, thankfully, to record this so that we didn't have people in there. But no, this is a good room. The room right next to it as well is the one that we did the Brooklyn Nine-Nine Tell Me Why skit.
Shoutouts to West, or not West, to North Commons.
North.
Shoutouts to North Commons.
So if you want to see some living lore locations, that's where you can go. But no, this room is awesome. I really enjoyed this room. I think we were able to move around the chairs and stuff to make it look like an interrogation type beat.
I also do want to mention this part of the real apology video where we're in the holding cell. This was recorded before break.
Yes.
So this was recorded probably a week before winter break. So we were cooking on the whole Endgame reveal for a hot second.
No,
probably,
for sure.
Yeah, like about a month. So this next part here, where it's like, okay, James, I need you to answer me honestly.
Yeah, I forgot about
this
that.
was supposed. I messed up the line a little bit. So one day I might just do some ADR on that part and redub it. It's supposed to be the first line of Jake Eater, where it's like, James, I need you to answer me honestly. How did you do this? How did you simultaneously kill and not kill Jordan? Because that's basically supposed to be like, oh shit, this is when that took place. And then I just used the SpongeBob AI for the narrator thing because I didn't really know how else to.
Yeah,
make
I
that
forgot
clear.
that what was it? It was Jake Eater intro where we had it's a Persona 5. I forget if we talked about
Persona
this in
5.
podcast 3, but it's supposed to be like a Persona 5 spoof. It's what I'm forgetting her name, but
God, what is it?
I don't know. The detective
Isn't
lady.
It SAEs?
I don't know. It starts with an S.
Something
But
like that.
she's questioning Joker on what he did, and I took basically the lines, and literally all I changed was like our names, and then like some stuff revolving around like VGC, Marvel VGC stuff. So. Yeah. Looking back, I don't know if that was needed, but we wanted to include it here just because it makes sense. I'm getting interrogated by you, so you were literally just like, let me just put this in here, and we were like, I was like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, no, and something else to mention, we almost actually forgot to put in that part into Jake Eater intro. I think we forgot to mention that.
That's right.
Because Jordan was doing subtitles. He's like, hey, what's this whole thing about the Persona reference? And I'm like, oh, it's Persona. What do you mean? He's like, it's not in the video. I'm like, oh, shit. So it's like a couple days before the event. I'm like, James, I need you to send me these lines real quick. Yeah. That's how we did that. Anyways, but yeah, so then it's just us, trying to figure out what to do. James is talking about how they shaved his head, which was actually done because of the 24-hour event.
Yeah.
Because we raised money. Woo! All good shit. There's, some invisible judge I talked to, I guess.
Something that we wanted to do, and I just remembered about this now. We wanted to like have a cutaway, Family Guy cutaway to like an Ace Attorney type beat where
we did.
where you like claim multiversal disaster, and the judge is like, okay, and then like slams the gavel.
You all know why? Because I wanted to have a quick clip of me walking out of New Willard because it looks really nice.
That's right.
And I wanted the defense attorney. I wanted it to be Scuba Steve, aka Jordy, who's a friend of Josh from Marvel Club, just because. Oh my God, this is such a weird bit. So Jordy does not go here.
Yeah.
He was undercover in the Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. server for over a month, just purely to fool Josh when he came to visit. And the whole bit for the month was that he was an attorney. So there's a clip somewhere where it's like someone's accusing me of being bisexual, and he's just like, they're like, yeah, I caught him watching gay porn on my laptop, and he's like, objection, Your Honor. Who hasn't done that? Quite honestly. No, I love him. You'd love him if you met him. Jordy's great. Jordy, if you're listening, I love you, man. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so unfortunately he doesn't go here, so we couldn't do that. But yeah, so then there's us throwing the stuff. Yeah. There was a money shot where I landed the hat on Mjolnir It's in the bloopers. But yeah, that took a few takes because we kept messing up lines.
Well, it was mostly you just
Missing.
No,
yeah.
and it's fine because you were throwing behind you, so I'm not like mad at you.
Yeah,
about
no, I
it. But
know.
yeah, it was just the clothes weren't going in the right spots. Like the one time that it did, you messed up the line, which sucks. But
I
it's
know.
totally okay. Also, something funny I do here, I try to like grab
Mjolnir, yeah.
as like a joke.
It doesn't really work.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was funny. I just wanted to add in a little goofy thing in the background, just so. Oh, also, yeah, Jake just stopped on the help from who. That's a
bit relating to the Jake Eater outro,
Yeah.
which we put in the bloopers for Jake Eater, where
It's-
James just keeps saying, help from who?
Well, I just get increasingly more and more like intense about it.
Yeah.
So this one out of 10, I would say this is like a 5 out of 10. This help from who. But it definitely can be a lot more. And I wanted people who like that or thought that was funny, because there was a lot of people who were like, oh, that's a really good funny part in 3. I was like, you know what? I'll give a little homage to them.
Yeah,
like, fuck it, whatever.
Also, another quick detail that accidentally happened. There's like a black spot on the chair. I don't know if it's in this cut. There's a cut where there's a black spot. It's because the thing holding my pin in my
That's
jacket
right.
kept falling out. So I stand up, and then it just lands on the chair.
Which happened many times while
This,
filming.
yeah, and I did end up. I ended up losing the pin.
Yeah, like
we got to Pollock, realized the pin was gone. We didn't want to reshoot that scene, so that's the scene where it's missing.
Yes.
And I went back to see if I could find the pin. I did find it by North Common.
You went back to North, and then Steve and I went to try and find a room to record the next scene in.
Yes.
But yeah, we do that.
There's the bit where it's like, oh, there's my ring, because the ring's just been sitting there for 69 days, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, then we have oh my god.
Outside Pollock Commons, which is
What's-
where we would have Nerd Night.
What's the song that's playing?
Oh, it's Crazy Frog.
Thank you.
Yeah, I put that in there. I don't know why. I was thinking, I was like, what's a good transition song that's like hype, and then that could work for like a zoom down or pan down, because we do pan downs all the fucking time. So I was like, what can I do to spice it up a little bit? And then I was like, you know what? The fucking beginning of Crazy Frog where it goes shoo, bum, 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 and then it just like cuts. It would be so funny.
And it worked. It was
yeah.
great. I loved it. Then it's just us trying to explain that collabing is actually just saving the multiverse, which is just our way of being like, dude, come on, please.
Also, the clothes that you give me are the clothes that I wore for Nerd Night.
Yes.
And almost all the photos that I'm wearing, it's the same clothes. And I also, VGC all came with, you brought your Luigi hats so people could recognize us. So
Yes.
I was wearing the Luigi beanie that night. So I'm in perfect, accurate costume here. I don't know. I don't think you are, but that's okay.
No, I think I am.
I think
Oh,
your
the
shirt
pants. I think the
definitely is.
shorts are wrong.
I mean, it doesn't matter,
I keep wearing the wrong shorts, and at that point, just a bit. We split off, and that's when we have the little montage.
Yeah. Shout out to all the Nerd Night homies who were totally cool with us recording them.
Yeah. Zach.
Like, yeah,
Liam.
I remember you, during Nerd Night, you basically were just like, go up to random officers that I haven't gone up to yet and ask them if they want to collab, and then they just say no. And I was like, okay. Like, I can do that.
Yeah. We got Dan from D&D. He would be a big help later.
Zach from anime.
We got Harrison from the math club. He was one of the only math club officers that were there at the
Tyler
very
from
beginning.
Pokemon.
Yeah, they were great. The subtitles say "Gone but not forgotten" when we get to the Squirtle in the original cut, because this is the second cut. There was a bit where James kicks the Squirtle.
Yeah, I pan down to it, and then it freezes, and then it's disrespect your surroundings, and then I kick it, and then it cuts to the next person.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rubik's Cube.
Sophia, I think she was like one of 2 Rubik's Cube people.
Yeah.
And then we've got Gaps.
Yeah,
Thank you,
board
Nick.
game people.
Oh, Alex from Monty Python. She was more than willing to help.
Shout out to Alex.
Yeah.
And then we also had Star Wars Club.
Yeah, which we had to cut down a little bit. There also was a cut bit with another club where we actually had one of the Jakes in the background.
I'm so sad this one got cut, yeah.
Yeah, because specifically, we had one of the Jakes in the background, like, watching James ask to help.
It was supposed to be like literally it's about a second. So it's, if you miss
blink
it.
And you miss it.
Yeah, blink and you miss it, but it was really cool. And we do that a little bit in some of the other videos that we made where we have some Jakes in the background. Nothing too crazy, but we But yeah, shout out to all the Nerd Night homies, y'all rock. And then there was also we're watching it without the sound, but during that montage, what song is it? It's like
it's like the water flea something.
Yeah.
It's like you'd recognize it from a SpongeBob episode. But I remember I was losing my mind because I couldn't remember the name of it, and I'm like trying to describe it to James. So I had to pull out like the Google like hum a song so he could search for it, and it found it immediately. And James is like,
I think it did.
No, it did because I didn't think it was right because I didn't recognize the name, but it was the right song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just remember you like trying to verbally tell me what it was. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, no, but that montage was good, and then. Yeah, we have some funny... We literally just talk for, like, the next 2 or 3 minutes. Something funny in this still right here, where we're talking while I'm walking back, is... It says small Easter egg, and it's
huge.
really big. And then later we have the whiteboard says, like,
big
Easter egg, when it's actually small. It's whenever you're writing this shit. But, funny thing about this room is...
Oh, my God.
So the night that we recorded all the stuff in North, we were like, all right, let's record this stuff just so we can get it out of the way.
Sure. We can have it done a month ready. It would be crazy.
It would have been so nice. But we ran all around the hub. I remember we also looked at Chase. Sorry. Yeah. We looked at Chase, and like all of the study rooms or whatever were taken by people. So we're like, all right, let's go to the hub. And Steve and I tried like every door in the hub, like second and third floor, and we didn't know that technically we weren't allowed in there, but we found one that was open, and I was like, all right, let's do it. So, and you can see in the bloopers that we got kicked out of that room. Like, we were in the middle of filming. And
we got like halfway through, and then we're like, well, damn.
So that's why we wanted this room, or we had to request it again. And then when we showed up, it wasn't unlocked. I had to, like, call a guy, I'm pretty sure.
You did, yeah.
To be like, hey, we have this room reserved. Can we get in? And then they were like, oh, yeah, I'll be right up. I'm like, all right. But, so, getting this, like, teaser out was such a bitch. But it's so good. It's so good. But, yeah.
Now the funny bit with the...
I know.
This damn whiteboard. It's full of Easter eggs.
We spent just like 5 minutes just going. You and I both tried to incorporate a bunch of stuff. So let's try and start. You want to try and start from the top, and then we'll go clockwise.
Yeah, sure. Should I go from the center or the left?
Probably. Well, there's just a hand turkey there.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a hand turkey. That's just funny. Oh, we got some Greek math letters just because.
It's supposed to be like an equation, because under it says equals 69, and I think it says haha nice.
Yeah, it's something like that. No, actually, that's not what
it's not. No, that's right. It's pointing to Jake equals Jordan, who doesn't equal Josh, and then it's pointing to who was Josh.
And then, do we really know for sure? Because that's a running gag, because Jordan and I look alike. Josh was mistaken for Jordan, or Jordan was mistaken for Josh eons ago, and they had similar haircuts. And then we had the Jake, Jordan, and Josh bit category in Marvel versus VGC round 2. There's also most of the digits of, is it your phone number? Someone's phone number.
That is my phone number.
Okay,
so
yes.
Guess the 3 digits and you can call me.
Yeah, we got, let's see.
2 Alexes, maybe 4.
Now it's close to 7.
Yeah, it's crazy. I drew that little hand thing. That's more of a reference to like Gravity Falls, kinda.
Yeah.
But it's also just like a power gauntlet thing.
L is real. Is it really?
Is it-
and there's like a
is it
little
real?
stick figure
Yes.
doing the "Is this real?"
There's the room code for 162 Willard.
Well, that's one of the Jakes.
Yes.
We have all 5 Jakes.
83
universes.
361. Yeah, 420.
The cake is a lie. The rat ? And that's kind of like a reference to
Marvel
Remy
thing.
and all that. Big Easter egg is still there. Metal pipe sound effect.
Oh, under 361 it says, what is it, the minus world?
Yes. And we'll get to that after we finish doing this. We're fucked.
1 James, because there's only one of me for some reason.
We should have put 1 Adam. That would have been funny. David Hayter.
Sure.
And yeah,
That's basically it. I think oh no, that you said that metal pipe sound effect.
yeah. So I'll go into all the numbers here because these are kind of important. So 616.69. 616 is the main universe for Marvel, right? Like in the comics and in the cinematic universe now, I think. The .69, besides just being funny, the reason why, and people only just realized this the other day. I don't know if you saw in the VGC Discord, James, but in the Jake Eater trailer, the codec number is 616.69. So I've had that in the works for a while, and I think Allie was like, "Oh shit, it's all connected." I'm like, Jesus.
I think it was Ryan.
Ryan, it was one of
My
those
guy.
two. They were both like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I've been doing that on purpose." So 616.69 is just because I needed the 2 decimal points. I'm like, "Fuck it, we'll go with that." 120000162. That is the room code for
Willard.
162. It's where the VGC meets, where we first filmed Marvel vs. VGC, and it also might be the room for Marvel Club next year because the math department fucking sucks once again.
Coming into our territory.
Hey, it's Thursdays. Fuck off.
I mean, I'm not gonna be here, so I don't
That's
care.
true. 42069 because it's funny. 83 because that was 1983 was the year Luigi was introduced in Mario Brothers. And then 361, the minus world. So this is a weirder kind of story. This is something that was on like Did You Know Gaming, I think. 36 is the number that shows up as air in Super Mario Brothers. So do you know the minus world, James?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the minus world, it's, I don't know if people listening at home know this. It's a glitch that can happen in the original Super Mario Brothers. It's basically purgatory, and it shows up as world -1. It's actually world 36-1, but it shows up as air, so it just looks like -1. And I put that in as one of the universes because minus world sounded funny. And that's where the 5 Jake numbers come from.
Yes. So
There's also your power gauntlet. if you
Yeah,
wanna go over that.
let's talk about the power gauntlets just a tiny bit. We knew we wanted to have power gauntlets in some capacity because we were like, we need to be going around the multiverse in
Somehow.
somehow.
Yeah.
So we were like, it'd be really funny to have an Infinity Gauntlet, which is like the Marvel side, and then we have
A
like
power
a power
glove.
glove
Yeah.
for the
VGC.
VGC side. So I love props. I've been doing theater for I wouldn't say like the past 10 years of my life, and I've done everything. I've done like acting, crew, tech. So I love cardboard as well. So I can make some pretty sick props out of cardboard. So immediately I was like, if we don't want to actually make like some really super nice gloves, which we don't, we could just get like some like dishwashing gloves. There's a better name for that.
Yeah, kitchen gloves.
Kitchen gloves,
Yeah.
dishwashing gloves, and then basically just glue a bunch of cardboard to it to make it look like a power glove. So all of the Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. has for their stones, it's just the Infinity Stones. Not in the same place as like Thanos's is, but that's
Well, some of
fine.
them are.
Some of them are, some of them aren't, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And then everyone also has a different version of a console, which is the thing that's closer to the arm specifically. I made everyone's console a little bit different. So one of them has like an Xbox button on it. One of them is like an SNES controller. One of them is just an NES controller.
Some of them have like 2 D-pads, Virtual Boy
two,
style.
two D-pads instead of buttons. So I just like fucked around with a bunch of them, and I just made a bunch of different ones. And then the really special thing about everyone's glove is their Mind Stone, which is the one that's in the center of the hand. everyone got to pick what their Mind Stone was. It should have been something relating to them in some capacity. So like Jake's is a bottle of milk, because why wouldn't it be? But and
People in
then
3 years are gonna have no idea what we're talking about.
and then mine, so for VGC, our stones are all, they're PlayStation buttons. So it's the X, triangle, circle, square. And then because there's not 5 of those buttons, we just did a Y for the middle finger, just because I think it was funny. And then my Mind Stone, specifically for me, was it's a fishing mini game. I have a wheel. It really looks like, not really, I was going to say it looks like the Stardew County Fair wheel, whatever the fall County Fair one is, where you could buy strawberries. But you basically just spit it. There's a little arrow underneath the Y to if you win or lose. And if you hit, what is it, the green one, it says win, you win. If you hit the red section, you lose, you're a loser. So it's, no, yeah, I think everyone did really cool with their gloves. We can talk about them more once we start seeing people with them.
Yeah.
But I just remember it was a bitch to get people to actually make their gloves.
Oh my god, yeah. We told them it was like you need to have them done by like the 16th of February. Yeah. And I think they did by then.
No, they did, but it was just
I was like, please,
yeah,
please do it sooner if you can, please.
But
anyways, rip to John.
Yes, John was the fallen, or the member that is featured at the end of this apology video or teaser video.
Yeah, he's Adam's roommate, so that was, we basically said that he died in Jake Eater outro.
Yes,
but this was just confirming it.
That's right. We also revealed the date. I forgot about this.
Yeah, so this is when we actually did the date reveal. I'm so proud of myself.
No,
for
I think
doing
it's
the
awesome.
3, 2,
Yeah,
1.
you should.
Yeah, I remember I showed it to someone who hadn't seen the other crossovers. They're like, "Wow, that is some graphic design shit right there." And I'm like, "Okay." Yeah, I'm like, "Okay." So, because the 3 is taken from Jake Eater, the 2 is taken from Marvel or New Age of Heroes. The 1, for some reason, I just always associated the first crossover with the color yellow. I don't really have any like foundation for that, so I just made the number 1. You know, and also the dot is like a purple-ish sort of thing for Endgame.
Oh,
okay. It's not like as dark as I should have made it, quite frankly. Also, a note that I think both Ryan and I forgot to mention in the Jake Eater podcast: the green color for the 3. I believe he told me he took that from a Luigi render.
Interesting.
So I don't think that's like the real color that Snake Eater uses. And then when we did the second draft, we also added a little dissolve effect for the logo at the very end, the shield and the joystick.
Yes, that was cool.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, that was the trailer. We didn't really tell everyone a whole lot of shit, but soon as they saw the gauntlet and us like getting ready to snap in the thumbnail of the original cut with at the VGC Direct, everyone's like, "Oh, I know where this is going."
Yeah, it's I don't know. I love this video. I think it's so cool. I think it's I think just the bit of it, of like it being a fake out and then it being a real one.
It being like almost the longest video.
Yeah, no, that was not the longest video.
Second longest, because Jake Eater outro is longer. We don't count bloopers.
Yeah, but that's also because like credits were 3 minutes.
That is true.
I'm super proud of that one personally. I think it's really cool, and I think it sets the stage, and I think it sets the tone for the next videos that we're about to watch, and just Endgame in general, because like even before we had the event, like people were hyped.
Yeah,
but I think we were also hyping
about
it. But I think this video shows the quality that we jumped, because I think every project the quality just increased. So I think seeing this video, people were able to be like, "Oh no," but like a good "oh no."
Yeah, like shit's getting real. Yeah, and before we get into the intro, because there's technically some intermission stuff. So in each of the podcasts that we made, which hopefully you've seen if you're watching this, we snapped some people in the post credits, I guess. In the first one, we snapped Kira and McRae from the Marvel Club. Kira was the editor. She's the editor-in-chief whenever we're not doing it, basically. She did like most of the heavy lifting for rounds 1 and 2. McRae's her roommate. So it opens up with like me messaging her on Discord doing the patented Kira gamer bestie, and she's like, great, here we go. And I think she's shopping for bows while she's getting this because she's known for wearing bows. Apparently she's got like a box of 50 of them because she wore a bow once and then everyone started giving her bows, so now she has to wear them out of obligation. Honestly, that's awesome. But yeah, so Kira gets snapped, McRae gets snapped, Mark walks in.
Yeah, where everyone go.
Yeah, he's like, where'd everyone go? Yeah, Mark, he's great. We love him here. We really wanted to have Mark in that scene, and then we ended up having him in later as a bigger part. And we'll get to that. In round 2,
it was Alex or
it was Matt.
That's
right.
Yeah,
Matt and Alex. They were the ones that were mainly working on Trash Down. It was more like Alex working on Trash Down and Matt being like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Matt there for support.
Yeah, he's there for more support. And then Alex is like, man, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here for me. And then Matt just disappears, and he's like, is this real? And that's also when we kind of were like hinting at the fact that James was a playable character.
That's
because
right.
it's got like the
It's got my model.
Yeah, it's got the polygons. It's like, oh.
I think I'm T-posing. I could be wrong, but yeah, you can see the very beginning of my model. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the image that we got from Crash as like an update. So, yeah, if you watch that podcast and then you realize it, because we put that out like a month before the event even started. So. You really had to remember that, and I don't think anyone even realized what we were doing for the Trash Down update. But
yeah, not by that point, no.
So,
and then the third one
was Trevor.
Yeah, shout out to Trevor, former Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast chair. He showed up to Jake Eater in Endgame because I asked nicely, and by that I mean, I told the story about Jake Eater last time, but this time I told him like months in advance. I'm like, hey, please, can you show up? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, awesome. Also, can we snap you? He's like, yeah, of course. So, I basically sent him a message like, hey, I just need you to like say these lines and then he managed to make it work. The couch that he's sitting on, by the way, I can now safely say that I have slept on it. It's very comfortable. He went peacefully. It was a very nice couch. Yeah, so we snapped him, just to show that no one is safe, even if you're as beloved as Trevor. You're not safe. And there was also a fourth thing.
I just want to talk about, because I think it's the lore of Trevor's scene is very funny. Just that I'm like, I call Trevor for my one.
Yeah,
phone
for your
call.
one phone call. Because let's be honest though, wouldn't you still call Trevor anyways? I mean, you might call your mom. I'd call Trevor.
No offense to Trevor, but no.
I'd call Trevor over my parents.
I love Trevor, but if I was in that situation, I probably would have called like maybe Hydra. Maybe I would try calling you, but then I would have to call twice. So I don't know if that's allowed. So
yeah,
I probably try and call like a VGC person because like while Trevor's a homie and I love Trevor, we're not that close.
I'd call Trevor
for the lore. We're that close.
Yeah, for lore and in real time, I'd call Trevor.
Okay.
Anyways, and the fourth thing, because this is something that wasn't really shown, because it's not on YouTube. The Marvel Club and Star Wars Club did a crossover, and it was going to tie into Endgame. We were going to have an intro and outro and teaser. We never got to film it, unfortunately. It was a whole thing. But it was really funny, I promise. There were some great jokes in there. I can show some edited scripts later, because I think we acted it out live on stage for Marvel Club and Star Wars Club. But basically the gist was Garrett was going to be like, oh man, we got like no events. We need to do some collabs. So he calls me, and that's where there's like the blooper with the unused opening where it's me, James, and Damien, and we're like working on Family Feud, and we're like, this is bullshit, Garrett calls me. I'm like, oh yeah, what's up? He's like, yo, I want to collab. And as we know from the intro or the real apology, collab means save the multiverse. I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna help us. This is great. So I meet up with Garrett, and I'm like, yeah, so we're gonna do the thing, right? He's like, yeah, but shouldn't we do an event first? I'm like, oh, I mean, I guess we can. And that's when we did like Pictionary and $1 Million Pyramid, because $1 Million Pyramid with Star Wars Club was the test run, and it worked pretty well. And at the end, it's basically like, yeah, so we're going to say the multiverse. You in? And he's like, oh, no, I didn't think that's what we were doing. I'm like, oh.
He didn't get the presidential handbook.
He didn't get the presidential handbook because he just got the president this semester, right? So it kind of worked in the canon. And then there's a post-credit scene where Garrett and Owen from Star Wars Club, they're walking down by Atherton. And they're just like, dude, what the fuck was James talking about? Or Jake talking about? And he's like, dude, I don't know. I thought he was making the whole thing up. And there's this elaborate camera pan where Owen turns around and he realizes Garrett's gone. Like, he got snapped.
It was a one-shot.
It was a one-shot thing. I do want to... I'm hopefully showing it because, God, I'm so happy with how that shot turned out. Not audio-wise, because you could definitely hear Garrett running off into the... but just... The idea of the shot is really good. And that's when Owen's like, hey, other Owen, we've got a problem. I found out that other Owen is the same Owen that is in Pokemon and VGC. I didn't realize he was on the Star Wars board, so I'm like, I don't know who other Owen is, but I'm sure Star Wars Club will get a kick out of it. I get it now. I understand. And that's when Garrett got his own Avenge the Fallen. And in my haste to make a really nice 5x4 member grid for who got snapped in Endgame, I forgot to put Garrett up there.
No.
so that's why
Garrett got a bigger part of that later on.
Yeah, he got a bigger part later on, and he got a special mention for being snapped in the very beginning of the Endgame actual event. So Garrett, shout outs. Thanks for working on me with that. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And I think that's all we got for the apologies, right?
This teaser, like I said, I think it set the stage for what we're about to talk about and what we plan to show. Just because. This is Jake and I's last semester, at least together. So we wanted to go all out, and I think this teaser definitely shows it.
Yeah. Right, let's stop the recording so we can get the rest. All right, so now we've got the intro, and when this played, it was the longest video we have.
Yes. And
it was only beaten by one other later. So the intro, the timestamp is September 2nd. That's important because that was 69 days before Nerd Night. So the theme that plays here when Jake VGC is opening the briefcase to reveal his own power gauntlet, I actually made that. that was me.
Oh, did you?
That wasn't Daniel. Shout out to Daniel. He did the other parts of the score, but this song in particular was me. I'll probably show a sound clip because I know you and I were both trying to play around with different character themes and stuff.
Yeah.
So this one I just went into Muse score. I'm like, all right, pipe organ, chorus, good enough. And I think part of the inspiration, this is gonna sound weird, was Crisis City from Sonic 06.
I've never played Sonic 06.
Neither did I, but I played Sonic Generations and they had a remix of it.
Okay.
And it was the first to third, I think, first to minor third sort of thing that I kind of used and then went back down a semitone. If you know music, you know music. If you don't worry about it. But yeah, and then this part here with the power of the sun in the palm of my hand, of course, a reference to Spider-Man. And with Jake 361 saying he's really gonna do it, This is an homage to
The panel from Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes, the panel from the Infinity Gauntlet where Thanos like does the snap and Mephisto is like, he's really gonna do it. It's like, yeah, he does.
How did you get the light from your briefcase?
I used someone's phone.
No way.
I used someone's phone and I just turned on
That's
the
some
flashlight.
Pulp Fiction shit right there.
Yeah, then there's Kira getting snapped, Matt getting snapped. So if you didn't see the podcast, you're fine. Everyone else getting snapped.
That was Trevor getting snapped.
Yep, and then 5-ish months later, because I kind of wanted to parody Endgame where it's like 5 years later. Yeah, so these are some of our members. I'm not going to name them in case they don't want me to. But yeah, those are the people that I killed. It's fine. And this is when we finally get all of the officers in one room.
Actually, all right, let's talk about... Because we had a filming schedule.
That did not happen.
No. We had a filming schedule because we were like, okay, if we can do all of this, and we stuck to it a little bit. We stuck to it a tiny bit.
But the goal was to get it done by March, so I could have 3 weeks to edit.
Yeah.
This did not happen.
No. So, we, okay.
Oh, Christ.
But yeah, so we the first thing that we filmed was the VeggieTales intro, which was January 26th. We filmed something with Liger a little later, and then we were able to also film the Friends thing and the Mexican standoff thing, but then we had to re-record that, which was annoying. We also were able to, on schedule, record the intros for both the Marvel side and VGC side. And then after that, it just went to shit. Like, we didn't get anything done. That's because some outside stuff happened, but that's fine. But I remember...
Nicole got sick at the same time. So it didn't even matter, but yeah.
It was really annoying because, yeah, especially for Midtro 3, and we can talk about it a little later, but everyone was in groups. So we need to make sure, like, you and I had to be available during all of these just so that we can have our input, but then we had to make sure that these two people could like find a time that works together, and then also from there like make sure that they can stay for about an hour and 30 minutes because that's how long it would take usually. So, and then also sometimes other people were involved, like Jordan, Damien was involved with a few other ones, like Better Alex, any of the Jakes. So we tried to be very punctual, but that definitely didn't happen. But the reason why we're bringing this up is because we had such a hard time getting everyone together to record all this stuff.
Yes.
We recorded all of this, all of Midtro
1, 2, and 3. And this part of the
parts
intro.
Of 3
and part of the outro.
Yeah, that, and then part of the outro, all on the same night. We did that in 2 hours. Like,
which is fucking incredible.
We Jake and I, we were literally like beforehand, we just said there's no bullshit, like we just have to do this. And I think that's the tone that we were kind of setting. And I feel bad for Mark and Allie, and Allie at least told me that like it's totally okay, but we kept them there for hours.
Because I was filming. I filmed for 6 hours that day.
That's right.
Because I'm gonna jump ahead. 2 of those hours were with Adam and Cole.
Yes.
2 of those hours with all of the board. 1 hour for Mark and Allie.
And then you did
another
one.
And then I had another hour.
Jake VGC stuff.
Yes, because I had to film some Jake VGC stuff. Shouts to Evan for helping film that part. And I had to do some voiceover work.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, that night was crazy, but...
What day did we do that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Dude.
It was like on the schedule here it says the 24th, but I don't know. But,
that is not true.
But we definitely had to do it at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. because that's the only time that worked for everyone, which kind of was... It sucked, but... We were all willing. Yeah, Jake and I at least were willing to do it, but I don't know how much the other board members are. Most of them were willing.
I told them about it in October, so.
Yeah. No, but I shout out to the board for putting up with us.
Yeah.
And just wanting to do this because I think it was really cool. Just to have them all in here.
Shouts to Muhammad for being in like 3 scenes when he told us he didn't really want to be in a lot. So I'm like, can you do 3 scenes? And he said, yeah, sure. Because that meant a lot to me personally.
Yes.
All right, so let's go through this. So we gave everyone. Also, Allie is recording this right now. This is the board member night was the one time Steve was not recording.
Yes,
and that's why we felt bad for Mark and Allie because 1, we took so long, and 2, we needed them to record for us.
Yeah.
But they did a fantastic job. But yeah, so we gave all the board members a line. And then James and I show up. So fun fact about the lightsaber: this thing would not cooperate.
No, it would not.
It was because, like, one time I forgot to turn it on. One time it was the wrong color. So fun fact: it is the wrong color right now. It's actually white. So instead of re-recording it or just being like, oh yeah, it's green now, because I wanted it to be green, because that actually did fit in with the Star Wars crossover, because I'm like, oh, I want a green lightsaber, because it's my favorite color, and Luigi and all that. So it's white. I just used the Ultra Key function on the Premiere Pro and just said, yeah, it's a green screen. It's a white screen. It's green now, please. And so you can see a few pixels like that are green just kind of pop up just because it goes into the filter. That's fine.
Oh, another funny thing about that intro, when we're kneeling down, I have ripped 2 pairs of pants during the filming of this, specifically intro. I got one of them fixed because I can sew, and then the other one I just saw yesterday, but we were, I didn't get the other one fixed, but Jake and I, the entire time that the board is just talking there, we don't just suddenly appear. We were just laying there, basically.
Yeah, movie magic, guys.
Yeah. And I think I was going back down, and I don't know how it happened, but, like, the knee of my pants just, like, ripped open. So you can see it in a later scene in Metro 3. When
continuity,
me, you, Mark, and Allie are all talking, you can see my ripped pants, or just the knee area. So I think that shows how much I'm committing to the bit here.
Yes, so much committing. We love this. Okay, so this next part is, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, all that good stuff.
Yes.
So these are just pages that I printed and then I taped to the front of actual comics I have to get that weighty feel to them. Okay, so when James falls over, I think that's when one of the pants rips.
So the other time my pants ripped was when the Marvel Club, all right, let's do this one last time thing. When Jake pushes me, we had to do this a few times, but I'm pretty sure there was one that was like a little, like I took a harder fall. Because I can't remember if it's this one or another one that we did.
Because we did this in like 3 takes or something.
Yeah. So whenever I just fall, like I hit the ground and then I guess my knee hit it a certain way to like rip open the knee again. So I don't know. I'm committing to the bit. I really like how I fall in that scene. I don't know how many people see because you're probably looking at Jake or any of the other board members, but in the background, I'm just like, I'm pissed.
Yeah, you can hear Jake slam the floor.
I slammed my fist on the ground because I was like, I don't know, that could be funny. And it like perfectly got it, which was good. And then, just some of the photos that are seen.
The movies that are shown here, it's Spider-Man No Way Home.
Madam Web.
Yeah, Madam Web. Because that was like, the Marvels. And I think Ant-Man Quantumania. I think those are the 4. And then we got some presentations here. We got the Beverage of the Gods, Say Yes to Meth. Steve trying to break everything, and Donkey Kong 64. I know, don't question the McRae one. That's Cole's slide that he made for her.
I remember.
Yeah, that was the Bake Anything You Want. John's doing a thing, Anna's doing a thing. But yeah, Pictionary, Belfont Trip, and then laser tag, bowling, the formal, and then we did the Bully McGuire steps. I mean, before presentation night, I was like, hey, if anyone wants to be an extra, follow me or meet me at Atherton Steps. It was just me and Evan, which was fine, because shout-outs to Evan. Everyone loves Evan. He's boogieing so hard right now.
I think it's so funny that one of the bloopers is just Bakhtiar showing up.
Yeah, Bakhtiar just walks on set. Yeah, and Crash was the one filming that part.
Yeah.
I do want to say, before I forget, so throwing the comics and having them land, this took me like an hour.
Dude,
at
I feel
4
like
a.m.
I feel like I could have done this in 3 minutes.
You would think, but I'm trying to hold the camera and throw it down at the same time. I could not do it. Because I was sitting there like, this should not be. It was also like 4 a.m., so I could have just been delirious. That could have been
maybe a little bit of yes.
Yeah.
So, VGC, all right, let's do this one last time. I think this is hilarious because obviously, like, Jake pushed me, so I need to push Jake. But he also needs to be my treasurer. So we were like, okay, how do we do this? So you can obviously tell Jake walks into the room and then walks out of the room with a costume change. And Oh my god, this is hilarious.
This took us like 5 tries.
Yeah.
Because
it was just the timing.
Yeah, it was a timing because sometimes I'd show up too early, sometimes I'd show up way too late. But the first time I almost had it, but then I realized I couldn't pull because I still have the glove. I couldn't pull my jacket off over the glove. So instead, you could very clearly see the glove is just resting on my arm. So basically, and someone's playing D&D.
Yeah, that was the D&D room.
Yeah, so basically, I'd throw the gauntlet off, take off the necklace or the Eye of Agamotto, rip off the jacket, put on the hat, and then run to the other side, and then I pop out. Like, I'm pretty sure you know the rest with a smug little look.
No, and it's so smooth. It's so smooth because every time we did this, I pointed to try and like cue you to go in. Like obviously you didn't see it, but I thought.
But it worked
cool.
pretty well for this cut.
Yeah, and you came in. So the photos that we have, that's when we created the friendly game corner.
The friendly game corner.
Yeah, the friendly game.
The friendly game corner. The first sight of the metal pipe getting dropped.
Dropping of the metal pipe.
I'm so sad I wasn't there for it. I was filming Bygones with Trevor.
That was Luigi's Casino.
In which I just brought all the Luigi hats. This was
Chance Time.
Yes.
It was a blind smash.
Yeah, and then
that
FNAF
was our
Hype Night.
Yes, I let people do Paper Pals. That's FNAF.
The FNAF movie, Among Us 2. And we did this, or is it 3?
It's Among Us 3 because it was the holiday one.
Yeah, it was the holiday one from this past fall. And then, so fun fact about this footage. So you could talk about when this happened. I want to talk about how I have this footage.
So this is the 24-hour event. I don't remember which one. I'm trying to see if there's any games at the front.
This was spring 2023.
And a funny, somewhat joke that we have. It's not really a joke because it's a thing. We have a midnight game. We have people who stay until midnight. I think SOS also has that, just not
sort of
as much of an extent as VGC does. But
we don't have a name for it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens is that they play the Legal Woes song, which is the FNAF Pizza Simulator song that plays when you are dealing with the lawsuits that you get within the game. So, and people just love that song, so they put it on. And another thing that for some reason VGC likes to do is we like to go around in circles to music. Like we do it for Rhythm Heaven a lot. There's a few other songs that I can't think of, but so they're playing Legal Woes, they're going around in a circle, just being gamers. I don't know. We really don't talk about this. I don't even remember this happening personally. But so how do you have this footage, Jake?
Well, I remember this happening because I walked into Cybertorium after filming Bygones for the day. And this was happening. So I just pulled out my phone and started recording because I had to make sure I wasn't losing my mind. I just walk in, I just see these people go like da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, this is happening, I guess.
I don't know.
So this was like around
I was probably just delirious.
Yeah, no, but I realized instead of doing Bully McGuire, we had to do that. So I searched through my phone and I finally found the footage for it. And then this final bit where it's the officers and their respective other club counterpart, we've got footage from the previous crossovers. So first we have Jeopardy. When we were first starting. We've got Family Feud. You can see my mustache. Shouts to Joe. We've got Joel versus Jack for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in the first crossover. We've got
dropping of the metal pipe.
Drop of the metal pipe. Hell yeah. And then we just have the bit of both of us walking towards the camera. And then we have the Marvel plus VGC Endgame comic art. Summer. Bestie. Gamer. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is incredible.
Thank you for doing it.
Yeah, no, I just sent them a thing. I'm like, hey, is there any way within a month you can make a spoof of Infinity Gauntlet? And I would circle people and be like, but make this person, this person, this person. And she's like, yeah, no, I can do that.
No, and it looks awesome.
It looks incredible.
I remember when I changed the server icon to the Infinity Gauntlet or the Power Gauntlet or whatever. I remember people were like, that's sick.
Yeah,
like,
I just changed it to a plus
cool.
because I didn't also want to do the Power Gauntlet because then it'd be so confusing as to which server's which.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so I used the plus from Marvel plus VGC, and yeah, God, it's so cool. I just think it's awesome. So I kind of land on that for a while. And then it's Damien and Evan because they're chairs. They don't have other people on the other boards.
They didn't have the extra lines that the like 5 of my board members did. So there's just kind of like 2, which is just podcast chair and comics chair. But we were like, it'd be funny if they were like watching it and they were like, wait, we don't get anything else?
Yeah, no, because when we wrote the script, Evan wasn't even like on the board. We didn't have a comics chair anymore. So it was originally just me and Damien, and he was just like, "That's it? I get nothing." I'm like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. Like, they don't have a guy." And it's like, "No, that's fine. Like, I guess, you know." And then Evan's just like, "I'm just happy to be here." And there's a brief pause as we reveal the fact, hey, David Hayter's back. We've been sitting on this recording for a while, and we're finally going to show the whole thing. We're going to finally show the whole thing this week. Yeah. Also, Jordan, I'm so sorry to tell you this now, but you misspelled Hayter.
Wow.
Yeah.
You also love the way that I say this line.
Yes.
Yes. It's like, no, hey,
please,
sir,
please,
we love you. We adore you, but we're good. Thank you. Bye.
I'm so sorry. Because it really was just like, I wish we could do more with that.
Yeah.
Right. And then, and we could have stopped the outro there. We could have stopped the outro there.
You mean intro.
The intro, sorry. We could have stopped the intro there.
But we love content.
We love content, so fuck it. 8 more minutes. We'll do 8 more minutes. It's fine. Who cares? We got time to burn.
Yeah, but before we go too into what we wanted to do, I have the original. I'm trying to find. I think this is the original one. Yeah, we have the original script that we wrote. Oh, that's right. I have to go back.
You have to go way back.
You created the intro for this document August 31st, 2023.
I believe it. I was making a list because when Jordan was like, "Hey, let's think of some ideas for when I'm gone for what you can do for the future parts," I had a whole list in my notes app, and I tried to put as many of them as possible into the intro. And then James and I kind of workshopped it, added some stuff, and we removed quite a bit because we just couldn't really get it to work.
The only thing I'm seeing right now that we definitely removed was the Final Fantasy VII intro that we wanted to do.
Yes.
But then we basically used everything else.
You said there was a Hotel Mario bit?
Oh, that's right. Hotel Mario
I didn't even remember
CDI.
we had a Hotel Mario bit planned.
Yes.
Apparently we did.
Yeah, I mean, I never played Final Fantasy VII, so I think I watched the intro. It's literally just when the party of people are, like, running out of the train, I want to say.
Yeah, it's like jumping off the train. It's like, all right, guys, let's fucking do this. Because I was going to say, if I could find a drone, I wanted to have, like, a funny Willard pan shot. Because that would have been insane if we could pull that off. And then I was just going to originally have, like, Mark pull up in his car and just, like, 3 of us jump out. And he's like, all right, you guys good. Good luck. And then he just drives off, and the rest of us, we got like a sword, you know, and some boxing gloves, whatever, and maybe like a fake NES zapper duct taped to someone's hand, and it's like, all right, let's do this, I guess, and then have a montage of us running up the stairs, because that's a thing that Final Fantasy VII has a joke about, because they run up like 70 flights of stairs or something. But yeah, so that stuff got cut. There was a few others that I didn't even bother putting in the original draft because it wasn't going to work. I think JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was something in there as well that wasn't going to work. But a good chunk of it came from I think Cowboy Bebop was another one. Edward even went as far as to find a green screen thing for it, but I wasn't really feeling it.
Yeah, and then we also had the Hotel Mario CDI. I thought it would have been really funny if I don't know, like Jake and I are walking up to.
It's nice of us for the princess.
Yeah,
but it's over, eh, Jake?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jake VGC in the background, evil Bowser laugh.
So, I that was funny, but then we were just like, even with. Because everything else we basically kept in. I can't find anything else that we didn't have.
Yeah, most of the things we kept.
It was just a lot. So, but let's go over what we have. So,
yes.
I personally, I love the VeggieTales one.
VeggieTales. Oh my god!
And you can see in the bloopers how many times we did this because the first time that we did it, you just forgot your glove.
Dude, no, I showed the bloopers to Garrett and Lex because they weren't there at the 24. I showed them both the entire bloopers. Like they were losing it when it's just like, oh, it worked. Da 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 da. They're like, oh my god.
No, but I had a blast doing this. I love my fucking tomato voice. I'm forgetting his name. Larry the Tomato? No,
Bob,
it's Larry the Cute. Bob
the Tomato. Shout outs to Bob.
Okay, Jake.
It's time for the theme song.
So,
also, shout outs to Ryan for giving me the black variant of the Jake Eater logo that we never used until now.
Oh, wow.
He gave it to me like a year ago.
Yeah, but did we have an idea what we wanted the song to be before Megalovania?
I'm pretty sure it was just Megalovania.
Okay, because I remember I only showed my roommate this
This
bit
part.
because this, like I said before when we were talking about schedule, like this was one of the first things that we did film. So
Yeah, because it was just during VGC one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being able to where was I going with this? I don't remember. Yeah, I literally don't remember where I was going with this.
You showed your roommate.
Oh yeah, and he was like, oh my god, that's so fucking dumb, and I knew that was perfect.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, because I remember it had to have been Megalovania the whole time because early September, I think, we went to Cafe 210 and we had a whole bunch of VGC board people there. It was like you and me, Madison, Julia, Cole. Actually, was Cole there? It was Jordan was definitely there. But it was just some people at Cafe. You were definitely there,
I
weren't
don't
you?
remember this.
Hold up. I gotta find the photo because I know I've got one here. But yeah, basically, sorry, let me just go to pictures and scroll down to find it. It'll be easier. So, I'm so sorry. Okay, so there's this bit, right, with the we were showing him the script. We're showing the script, and because I briefly show him like the Spider-Verse. Yes, I show him the Spider-Verse part. And he can just barely see the VeggieTales thing. He's like, VeggieTales? What the fuck? I'm like, oh yeah, we're just kind of jumping through some shit. He's like, damn, that's crazy. I can almost like envision it. It's like you're sitting there and you're going through the whole thing and you pull out your saxophone and you play like Megalovania. I'm like, Jordan, you're spot on, dude. You gotta shut the fuck up.
That's right, because it was supposed to be your saxophone.
It was supposed to
first.
be. I had to take it home. And it would not have worked just because the octave key kind of sucks. No, hang on. Let me find it here.
I feel like I saw that on Discord, so I don't think I was there.
Really?
Because every other time I went to Cafe with y'all was in like February.
Oh, was it? Oh, then maybe you weren't
time
there.
in March.
Man, I wish I knew what date it was so I could. Hang on, I am in September right now. Oh, here it is. Yeah, September 16th. You were there. You're photo proof.
Oh, okay. Now I remember that day.
Shout out to Steve. Yeah.
I had 2 beers. My classic.
Classic.
Yeah, but VeggieTales also, we definitely knew we wanted this one as an intro to the funny multiverse stuff because it's literally the intro to the show, I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
VeggieTales? Yeah, no, this is the old intro. Yeah.
So we knew it would like get people sort of situated into like what the fuck's happening. People are just gonna be confused. Like people, VeggieTale homies are gonna know what's up. And then Jordan also captioned us as James the Tomato and Jake the Cucumber.
And the font that's used is the one they actually use in VeggieTales. I just looked it up and I found a generator for it. I forget what it is exactly. But
yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, but yeah, that's VeggieTales. Shoutouts to me messing up like 7 times.
We did it though. We were able to do it, which is good.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I picked Earth 2 because I just wanted a universe with 1-digit number.
Fair.
And I just thought 2 was kind of funny. You know what? We'll call it a Simple Flips reference. It'll be fine. Sure. All right, Earth 1999-98. So this is a parody of Across the Spider-Verse where Spider-Man 2099 is like, and don't get me started on that Doctor Strange and that little nerd from Earth 1999-99. This is just one off. So the video clip that plays on the TV before Craig the puppet bursts through is
it's intro 1.
Yes, it's intro 1
to the first crossover.
Yes, it is the first crossover, and then it just a very shoddily green screened puppet Josh played by Craig the puppet.
I love the PNG that pops up when it goes through.
I just think it's so funny. I did not want to change it. I didn't want to have to film him punching through like a green screen.
That's fair.
Yeah, I just thought it was really funny, and people in the audience did know what this was. At least Allie did, because you can hear her go ding dong.
Yeah,
in the background.
This is a deep cut. I definitely know what Crash and Bernstein was, but once you said that Josh had his puppet, I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it.
We gotta do it.
Especially because it's only like 5 seconds.
I asked him like last semester, I'm like, hey, can you bring your puppet up for next semester. He's like, why? I'm like, trust. He's like, okay.
Yeah, shout out to Craig.
Yeah, shout out to Craig. Then we have Earth 7777777.
There was a whole lot of bitch in this filming
Yeah,
session.
yeah. So this is Friends. Obviously, we have like a Friends font and everything.
I just remember it being super cold, and like a lot of people were complaining just because it was cold. Some people were late, but we got it done, and I think it looks nice.
It looks nice. I feel like I could have reshot the umbrella shot right here because it covers some people but not others. But, you know, overall, it's fine. This was just basically me and Clipchamp kind of dying for a night, trying to make it look nice.
And it looks beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so we've got most of our board members here.
We had them doing the Lethal Company dance.
Yes, we have them doing some Fortnite dances. And the fountain is empty. Because
it was winter.
Yeah.
They weren't filling it.
Yeah,
they
this
had
was
Christmas
late
tree.
January, I think. It's in the schedule.
Oh, yeah. It's the one of the few things we actually did film. It was, January 31st.
Yes, this is yeah.
Literally right before February.
Yeah, we got the claps. That was fun. And then we have Earth 305. This was a very late edition. We almost didn't even put it in. We almost put it in bloopers, I think.
Yeah, I don't really remember too much about why this happened, other than I was like, my dog's name is Jake. So meet Jake. Jake is my dog. We've had him since I was in 9th grade, I want to say. Something like that. He's a poodle Bichon. He's always been named Jake. We didn't name him that. We adopted him. But Jake's favorite thing to do is watch the news, which is what he was doing here before I interrupted him. But I was just like, Jake, if I get a video of me talking to my dog as if it's you, can we use it? And you were basically just like, sure. So I over spring break, when I was home for like 3 days, I got that scene with Jake. And literally, you can kind of see me. I'm like really awkward, like moving up and down. But that's because we're at my couch and there's a giant armrest. So I'm just like over the armrest so that my like head and like hands can be into the frame. So there is, I didn't give you this clip, but there is another clip which is like a blooper of me like starting to say the thing, and then my sister starts to come down. I'm like, I don't want to see her like looking at me like talking to Jake like that, so I stopped it. But no, yeah, Jake, he's a very good actor. He got paid in treats and a walk.
Yippee.
But I remember I made that, or I cut that and put it together in like an hour, because I also had to download. I literally searched up like Mega Man sound effects, and I picked the first one, I downloaded the audio, and then I literally went into Clipchamp and I just separated all of the audios together so I could just pull them randomly and put them in different spots for when Jake talks, because oh man, I'm forgetting the YouTube channel that does this.
Relax.
Yeah, his cat also does that and talks. I forget what sound that the cat has, but I was like, oh no, that would be perfect for Jake. So no, that's why Jake is in there. And then Earth 305, I think
where
was
did that
it.
come from again?
It just looks like dog and leet speak.
Oh my god.
So
oh my god.
So yeah, I thought that was a funny addition. But it's like not even really, but it kind of is. But
no, like I can kind of see it.
Yeah, Jake also has a less prominent role a little later.
Yes,
for
in a couple
the Jake
clips.
blanket. But we'll show that in a second.
Yeah, so Earth 66. This is very clearly a riff on Batman 66. We tried to do a bit of a shot-for-shot sort of deal with the intro. Sorry, we're watching this as we're talking about it. It's so fucking goofy.
It's good.
I had a few people come up to me and tell me this was their favorite part.
Really?
Because I was aiming to impress Evan with this part, because Evan's a big DC guy, and he was like, "No, I loved it." I'm like, awesome, perfect. So basically, this was just me and James in front of a wall in Willard, like a week before the event, and I am editing this over the course of like 2 hours at a VGC meeting, and I'm messaging James as I'm doing it. I'm like, James, I'm gonna die. This is taking for fucking ever. He's like, dude, come on. And I hate the Ultra Key sometimes, but I learned how to keyframe doing this, so that's cool. But yeah, so it's like us running towards the camera, we're punching some people. So this is art from Tyler.
Yeah, shout out to Tyler.
Shout out to Tyler.
We got an okay from him, like at the beginning of the semester, basically being like, "Hey, can we use the art that you post in the channel for some like Marvel Club or Marvel versus VGC stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't care." So the people that were punching in here is actually ourselves. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it is.
With just Luigi hats on.
Yeah, so I guess you could say Jake 66 exists. He's got a Luigi hat.
Yeah, and then James
66, he gets pummeled, and then so this boomerang looking guy. Yeah, he's from the Legion of Dumbasses. This is an old Marvel Club bit. This was fall 2021 when we did Pictionary. People kept drawing their prompts as Spider-Man. And so by the end of the night, there was like 5 different spider spoofs, I guess, like kind of in a group. Someone made some really sick comic art. Shout outs to Matt. And so that's one of them. And I was like, yeah, I kind of want to have the Legion of Dumbasses because they did make a brief cameo in Jake Eater.
What was going to be the third person? We were going to make it something. I just can't remember what it was. That wasn't
honestly,
this.
I don't know.
Okay.
I remember because originally for the next shot where
it was
it's you
supposed
and
to be
me,
Cole.
I was gonna because he had 2.
Yes, he was gonna
hats.
have 2 hats on his glasses frames.
Yeah. But this was funnier, and also it was a bitch to edit 2
No, that's fair.
Yeah, so...
now, this is my favorite shot in this one,
it's
which
James
is where...
sliding over, and then we fail to shake hands correctly. Well, we start to by the end.
But that's an actual thing that is in... Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, Robin slides over,
It's a shot for shot, more or less. But yeah, Robin just, like, slides over, and then they start shaking hands.
Yes.
So we were like, we have to do that. So yeah, it's 2 separate shots of us shaking hands. So we didn't know if it would ever even,
we just hoped.
Work.
We
and
hoped.
I think it's funny.
It's hilarious.
I think it's so funny.
Absolutely hilarious. And this next shot is where it's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be all of, like, the criminals, like, get a pan shot. However, we were like, that's going to be too much work to, like, have all of Tyler's stuff scroll across. So we did this bit instead where it's like, holy universe, Batman, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the weird thing with the mouth. So I was trying to explain where this was from to James, and it took me like a half hour to find the source on YouTube. It's from like an extra clip from The Incredibles, where it's like a Batman 66 spoof, where like Frozone and Mr. Incredible talk like this. And it's just been a core memory for me.
It's a mouth over their character.
Yes.
So...
And then I had metal pipes spinning in the background because I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And then after I edited all this together, I messaged James and say, James, we forgot the power gauntlets.
Yeah. That was, oh, man.
So James was like, do you want to refilm? And I said, no. Instead, I need you to film your next line, which was, here they are, you goofball. And then I just took a picture and I just kind of edited them onto us because there was no way in hell I was reshooting and re-editing. It was not going to happen.
I think it's awesome. It's so funny.
It is so funny. All right, then we've got Universe 789. The reason for this, it's the math joke, stupid math joke.
Okay.
Because 789.
Yes.
Yes. Come on.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So this, honestly, it's not really close to the source material at all, just because we were trying different things. It originally started as a spoof to the
Key and Peele.
Yeah, Mexican standoff sketch, which is one of my favorites of theirs. So it's Alex Crash and Lex from VGC and Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. respectively.
Something funny about that, they're the presidents now.
Yes, they are now your presidents.
Yeah.
That was not entirely planned. We just wanted to have like people, quote unquote, shadow board people. Because, they're close to the club and its inner workings and they help us out with events. And we also wanted to like be like, hey, we want you to have like a notable spot in the videos. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, of course. So we got Lex and Crash. We had to film this twice, but that's fine. Some of it was because of continuity issues,
Lex
just
looked
because
at the camera there.
Yeah, like Lex looked at the camera, but like there was some spots where like people's hands were up in one shot and then down in the next.
Yeah.
So this did help with that. And then they're doing like the Mexican standoff, like 2 guns shit. James looks directly at the camera, like, this can't be good.
That was improv that day.
Yes.
I literally asked you, I was like, can I do that? You're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we got a safety shot too, but I'm glad we used that.
Yeah, no, that shot was great. Then there's the sniper, it zooms in. So the person it pans over to is Rohan. He's a member of Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's great. I love him. He's gotten super swamped. He was going to run for a web manager for next year, but he realized with comp sci and senior year was not going to work. But he's been working on a new website for us, and he's been doing a bang up job with that. So I'm like, hey, you want to be the guy? And he's like, yeah, sure. So we gave him the laser pointer. He gets a little cameo. Shouts to Rohan. And this screen Lex does is ADR'd because it's the same screen as the first time we shot it. But there was a lot of people at the bus stop.
I don't know. Yeah, the first time that we shot it, I was thinking about this a while. Like the first time, Lex got mad at me. Am I allowed to say that on
Sure,
the podcast?
sure.
Lex got mad at me because I said I didn't want her to scream because I was uncomfortable with the amount of people at the bus stop hearing that. Which in reality, I think it would have been fine, but I just rather not take that risk.
Yeah,
but
not risk.
I'm not sure if I saw the people there the first time that we did it, but yeah. So Lex does like a fake scream, like
it's a great scream. I mean, you can hear it. It's a great scream.
Pretends to do a scream during the second shot, and then all you did was just take the scream from that first time that we filmed and then put it over it. But like, who's gonna notice until this comes out?
Yeah, until this comes out. Yeah. Lex, great scream.
No, yeah,
good shit. Okay,
Chad
then
Ward
we
did very
have.
good.
Oh, this is probably my favorite because one, it took me forever to edit, and two, because it's Castlevania. So this is Earth 1986. So this title screen here, I tried to kind of riff off of the original Castlevania intro title screen. You know, it's got like the film bars and everything. It's got the gothic kind of font. If I had time, I should have put the Gauntlet logo through an 8-bit generator type thing. So that way I could get like a fake 8-bit logo in there. I didn't think about it, but this was like 5 layers or something in Clipchamp. So even though it was like 5 seconds, it still took forever to export. The music in the background is the Castlevania 3 password, specifically the Japanese version because it's got the cool sound and stuff. And then it does a Castlevania 1 parody where like it pans down, it's got the music. You can't really see it.
I know, yes.
Yeah, you can talk about this, James.
Yeah, so first off, shout out to Liger because he was easily the easiest actor to work with. Like
1 shot or 2. I think at most was 2 takes per shot because one of them I filmed wrong. The other he was just off center.
So we got to do a bunch of random bullshit, but you cannot see me, but on the pan down to when Liger walks up to Willard, you can kind of see me. If to the right of the doors, there's just I was supposed to. I wish there was more light, but it's totally fine. Yeah,
like a gargoyle.
Yeah, I was supposed to be a gargoyle, and I'm saluting over there. You can kind of see it because I have my I Am Knuff sweatshirt on, but it's super hard if you're not like specifically looking for it. But yeah, Liger comes up. And, we wanted to film it like it was Castlevania. So,
we got the staircase because it's kind of known for that. Liger's got a bandana and his trusty whip, which is just an extension cord.
Yes, it's extension cord that he has.
Yeah, the music in the background is Deja Vu, which is just Vampire Killer, but from Castlevania 3, and it sounds nice because it's using the Japanese VRC6 instruments. Again, if you don't know music, don't worry about it. It just sounds cool. And then he's climbing up.
Yeah, something that we wanted to do, which after you actually edited it, I was like, oh, this sucks. We wanted to have this like part be a minute long, and it's like half of it, or more like 2 minutes actually, 3 minutes, where it was just him walking upstairs for like a minute.
3 loops.
Yeah.
It was like 3 loops,
and
basically.
I watched it, and after the first time, I'm like, this sucks. This is so boring. Like we draw it out a lot, so the Kill Dracula, they said. That kind of takes place for that. And then we have him coming out of an elevator because we're like, it'd be funny if he came out the elevator.
Yeah, even though it's like 2 floors. Yeah. Anyways, so that's Liger's real inhaler. He ran back to his dorm to grab it. He's like, could I do this? I'm like, yeah, dude, that's great. So we get him. He's walking. Fun fact, this is on like 1.2 times speed. So if he looks kind of funky, it's because he's walking faster than normal. Anyways, so shouts to Summer once again. But while we're shouting out Summer,
yes, I'm also seeing later in, I forget why we did this. I think it's because I just wanted to be funny.
Yes, I think that was the reason.
You can see me if you're not appreciating Summer's art, which I don't know why you aren't.
Monster.
You can see me in the sitting down as Liger passes me. I'm in my I'm Knuff hoodie and my hat. I have my hat over my eyes like I'm sleeping. I just thought it was a fun little Easter egg thing for people to find. There's a few more things that I do that are kind of like that, but that's definitely the most noticeable one, I would say. But Yeah, we filmed Liger literally walking down the entire hallway.
Because again, it was supposed to just be a 3-minute walking simulator, but I'm glad we decided not to do that. And also the reason why this Summer's credit goes right there is because when she gave me the final product, I'm like, holy shit, you're getting like an extra shout out for this. This is incredible. And I was like, well, we got 30 seconds of nothing with Liger, so I'll just put it there. And I made the bit where it's like, look at it. So it kind of works. Plus, it makes your Easter egg a little bit harder to spot, which I think is funny. Anyways, we have our Symphony of the Night, dying monster type beat. Just a few words swapped here and there. All right.
Yes. Okay. So the Jake blanket, that's where you can see. That's what you're wearing. As Dracula, you said you wanted some sort of like cape.
Yes.
So I was like, you know what? We can use the Jake blanket because it says like Jake on it. It has a bunch of photos of Jake on it. My dog Jake. So we were like, fuck it, let's do that. So that's what you can see. I did bring it to the 24. I didn't really show too many people because I was like running the 24.
Yeah.
But no, you literally can't tell what it is because once you do the like whipping thing, it gets bunched up. But before you can kind of see it. So trust. I'll send you a photo of that blanket in full, but it's no, I love that blanket. That was a Christmas gift I got, but I think it's just so funny, and it works well with Jake using it.
Yeah, shout outs to Jake the dog.
Shout out.
Yeah, the music that plays at the very end is the oh my god, I always forget the name of it. It's the final boss theme from Rondo of Blood / the intro boss theme from Symphony of the Night. Just play Castlevania, guys. That's all I'm trying to say with this. Play Castlevania, please. Yeah, so where were we? All right, the Void. Okay, so you can't really see it because I did the weird, like, not rubber banding. I forget what the effect is called in Clipchamp, but it's like a weird spectrum sort of deal.
It's like focusing.
Yes. So this is the Void, otherwise known as Earth 1337, which is, we were talking about Leet speak earlier. This is just Leet.
So, you want to explain the Void? Because...
Yeah, okay, so the Void, it's a couple things together. So originally in my head, I thought the Void was going to be black. It's white instead. It's that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward goes so far back in time and then breaks the thing and then he's in a void? That's where they are right now, basically. They are just kind of existing without time and space. Earth 1337 is not Earth. It is the Void. And the reason why Josh and Cade are there, Josh was known as the Void in Jake Eater. That was the name we gave him. And Cade is like Josh's best friend. So I was like, yeah, I'll have these two kind of riff off each other. So I basically was just like, hey, we're going to set you up with Failboat. We'll get to that in a sec. I need you guys to kind of just make awkward conversation. This was done in one take. We were just sitting in what's it called? Willard, in front of a Willard wall as usual.
Yes.
And they were just going back and forth.
That's how we do all our green screen. I think we should say that. We literally just walk up to a random Willard wall and then we just record because most of the Willard walls are a fairly bright color. The one that we're in right now, we're in 62. I don't think we ever used 62, but I think the walls in 60 were pretty good. That's how we filmed the 66 stuff as well as this. I don't know too much about chroma keying because Jake did most of that, but I'm pretty sure it's just because it was easy.
Yeah, because in Clipchamp it doesn't really work. You can either do blue, green, or red, and there's like a sensitivity slider. That's not going to work with these walls. So Kira, in her all-knowing Premiere knowledge, was like, hey, look up Ultra Key, click and drag onto the thing you're using, and then mess with the settings. And then it worked fine. So like you can hardly even tell. I mean, you can tell it's like a green screen, but like you couldn't tell it's like a wall.
No.
Yeah.
The only time you can tell it's like a wall is when...
There's like shadows sometimes.
Well, that, and then also, I was going to say in part 3 with like VGC does.
Yes.
But that's more on purpose.
That was on purpose, and that was like before I learned about Ultra Key. No. That was in Clipchamp using the really shitty walls.
But that's exactly how I wanted that to look. So
yeah. I'm glad that my ineptitude worked out there.
Yes.
Okay, so...
Yeah, probably one of the bigger things in this video is that Failboat cameo.
Yeah, so I know what you're thinking. Jake and James. what the fuck?
Yeah, we have these connections.
Yeah, no, we don't. Okay, so basically, when we were talking about like David Hayter, and we're like, yeah, we wanted to see if we could get someone from Marvel to do a cameo. There's no one really doing that on Cameo, unfortunately, because they're all like super duper famous
Real actors.
You're like, who's
Not that
gonna
anyone on Cameo isn't a real actor.
Yeah,
but...
like I would have loved to get Mark Ruffalo just because the Hulk is from Penn State.
Oh, is he?
Like yeah, like in the comics, I think
that's
he's from
it.
Penn State. Yeah, actually, so a little bit of behind the scenes lore that I shouldn't know. When students of S.H.I.E.L.D. first got into the STEM fair at the beginning of the academic year in 2022, someone came up to me and was like, oh, like Marvel Club, that's so awesome, you know? And then they told me that Penn State was trying to get Mark Ruffalo to show up because the Hulk's a Penn State alum. And that's the thing you can see in New Willard by the equipment rental room. They have the comic panel. They're like, yo, Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, that's it.
Or not Mark Ruffalo, but the Hulk,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Bruce Banner. And they're like, yeah, so like if we ever get him, we'll let you know. I was never told, so I'm guessing he never showed up. Yeah, I'm guessing he was too busy filming, oh my God.
Are we saying how we got this Failboat cameo?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
say. I think because we've talked about it with
We
other
talked
people.
about it with some of the people. I didn't know if we wanted to keep it more or less like close to our chest, but we can talk. Yeah, shout out to Hydra.
Yeah, we
who
can
is
edit this part out if we need to.
Who's a mod of Failboat server. He said that he basically just like sends a message to Failboat and was like, "Hey, can you say these lines in front of a green screen?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." Apparently, it was kind of hard to get these
Because Failboat's just a busy dude.
I mean, yeah, he's
Yeah.
a fucking YouTuber making content, which I think we understand.
Yeah,
so
we get it.
Yeah, I think Hydra was like poking him, but then he finally got the clip, and we yeah, it is in the bloopers. It's literally just him like going in front of a green screen, be like, okay,
How am I gonna do
yeah,
this?
like,
He seemed to enjoy himself.
crossover in the void. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, all right, hell yeah.
So
Yeah, no, there was a bit of a couple screw ups here. So one thing is I actually had to do 2 chroma keys for this because Failboat's microphone was in front of like the rectangle that he was in. So I just put another green block over top of it. And that worked fine. Also, I guess it's just something to do with how YouTubers use really good audio. This didn't work in Clipchamp or the Discord or Google Drive previews. I had to use Premiere in order to hear Failboat.
interesting.
Yeah, it was very strange. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I got it to work, so it's fine.
No,
yeah.
yeah.
So Failboat showed up, and he was just like, yeah, I can do it.
Everyone popped off. Well, everyone that knew popped off.
Yes, anyone that was like, oh, I know this guy. But even people who didn't, when they saw like the subscriber count, they're just like, oh, that's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah. So I'm glad that we were able to get this because even though it is like a throwaway joke, it's so good.
Yeah, not sponsored because we aren't sponsored.
no.
But you should subscribe to Failboat. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For just doing
and then
this.
Is This Real shows up
That was from
as a link.
Jordan, I
Yes.
believe.
No, that was me.
Oh, it was?
That was me. Yep. Okay, and then we have Earth 1,279,001. I'm going to talk about where this number came
Yeah, I
from.
don't know where this number's from.
So this number is
I'm
from...
guessing a 25 live code, but I don't.
No.
Okay, then I
it's
have no idea.
not. So, because that would mean it's like building 127. No, it's not
Yeah.
long enough. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So Cartoon Network, it's a place. It's a place we
Yes.
know, right? Or I mean, it's a channel, and like between ads and shows and whatever, they would have like stitched clips, almost YouTube poopish, I want to say. And one of them was like, it has Benson from regular show saying 75, and then Muscle Man. So it's another clip. Muscle Man saying +3. Mordecai saying equals, and then the floating head of Billy Mitchell saying 1,279,001. And then there's a clip of Finn and Jake going like, actually, that's a lie. It is a lie. And then it goes back to the show. For some reason, the number 1,279,001 has been stuck in my head for over a decade.
Uh-huh.
So this is my way of sneaking it in. Also, it's a prime number. This is not important, but I just thought it was cool.
75 plus 3 equals 1,279,001.
That's a lie.
It is a lie.
Also, in this shot, you can see my laptop.
Yeah.
There's only a few shots where the laptop can be seen. And
Oh my god, it's in the teaser.
Yeah, we missed talking about it in the teaser, but while Jake and I are talking, it's because we were just talking about lore. Like that, we didn't really need.
We
to
had
go
to
over
like
that,
mash
but,
things up. Yeah.
But that, yeah, you can see my laptop in front of me. That one's a little harder. This one's also kind of hard to see, but it's
kind of blends in.
Yeah, it blends in with the railing, but I just always have my laptop on me just with script. So. We did move it later on for another shot that we did, I'm pretty sure, but we just used the stake, which was funny. But no, Barbie is the shout out to everyone that came out and helped us film that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, shout out to the narrator played by the other Kira Crockhands, an alum from VGC.
But no, we wanted as many people involved as possible. Yeah, Fortnite Loot Llama came out.
Shout out to Fortnite Loot Llama.
Guy, Shy Guy came out in costume. So it was really funny, especially because while we were filming this, someone stopped and was like, "Can we take a photo with the Fortnite
I was like, I guess. But like, could you please move?
Yeah, you were like, do it fast, please.
Yeah, no, I think that was my exact word.
Because we're filming something. And so, yeah, we just wanted to... I thought it was funny, and a bunch of people passed us and were like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah, what are these dudes doing over here?
But
yeah.
we tried to give as many people lines as they wanted.
Yeah, we also Fortnite Loot Llama is in the background in a couple places doing some funky shit.
Yeah, if you just watch the background in general, like, you can find, like, Fortnite Loot Llama doing stuff. I'm pretty sure Rye Guy does some stuff. Like, I think there's a Jake Luigi in the background somewhere.
Yeah, no, he's in the back here. Also, something to mention, after Cade does his line where he's like, guys, you gotta, like, fix this. We got lives to get back to. Everyone's like, yeah, dude, what the fuck? Rye Guy, Shy Guy.
Yes.
I had to do some ADR because he says, oh, actually, I'm okay with this. I took that voice clip through the mask, and then I turned up the locked in a trunk sound filter in Premiere and used that. So that's what he's saying in case you can't quite make it out.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm okay with this.
Yeah, apparently they're going to keep that bit going for the next year.
Which is great.
Rye Guy is going to be in his mask and going to talk muffled.
Shout-outs to Kenny, I guess, from South Park. it's that sort of joke, honestly.
Yeah. Now, I also think it's really funny that we mostly have just a bunch of guys for the Barbie scene. We talked about this before.
We talked about this while we were filming. We're just like, guys, it's not lost on me that we are parodying like
Barbie,
a feminist movie.
yeah.
And it's like 95% guys. The irony is not lost.
Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, yeah, it was supposed to be a goof, a spoof.
Yeah.
So
I mean, people still laughed. So
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was like, oh, these men. I think we were okay.
No, I love women. So
Yeah, shouts to women.
More should have came, but it's okay. Well,
Shouts to Rhiannon. Shouts to Rhiannon and Allie. Shoutouts. Yeah, okay, so the bit with Jake 12000162, otherwise known as Jordan. Okay, so I found out pretty late that he wasn't going to be in town.
He was doing like a job or whatever.
Yeah, he was
stupid.
Yeah, fucking adulting. Yeah, so I found out he wasn't going to be able to do this in person. I'm like, fuck, I need him to do this bit. So this is another green screen. This one just was not working with me for some reason, which is why you can very clearly see like the rift. But again, dude, this is a college project outside of classes. You can't get too mad at me here.
We just made a fucking almost 12-minute video. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got Michaela and Flags over here. Because I did purposely have Flags move out of frame. So it's like actually like, oh shit, he's actually not there. So yeah, he does the
Flags
thing.
had to leave.
Oh, well, maybe. No, I think he was there. I just told him, hey, I need you out of frame.
Okay.
Maybe he left. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, then he gets like pummeled. So I just have a very like terribly shot thing where he's just on the ground. He does this real line, which of course we all know at this point. And then as a little air of mystery, we've got Mark and Allie like in a like Matrix looking room, right? It's just Willard 62 with the lights off, and I think it's like a green. I think it's just a green square. Yeah. It's like a green square we just put up there.
But yeah, we were showing all these videos at the event, but we wanted people to be like, "Whoa, like what is this?" Because it's a. Well, Mark and Allie are, I would say they're fairly, Allie's now a board member at VGC.
Yeah, Allie's now a board member.
She's a fairly prominent member of VGC, and I would say Mark's a fairly prominent member of
yeah,
SOS.
no, he shows up every week.
So,
he hosts the parties sometimes, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, don't tell anyone,
don't
guys.
tell anyone, guys.
But, no, just having them at the end, I wanted people to be like, why, like, what's happening. I mean, we'll talk about this a little more once we get into the midtros, but yeah, those cameos, we wanted those to be super hype, and I think while we couldn't get alumni to do it, I'm super happy with picking Allie and Mark for it, because I think they did a great job.
Yes. No, absolutely.
You want to just do 1 and 2 on one take?
We probably can.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Midtro 1 here. So we're still on Earth 1279001.
Yeah.
And then we're finally in Willard 62. Also, the board members are here now.
Yeah. They're just kind of here.
Yeah.
That's fine. Whatever.
Because we wanted to have all of them in the Barbie bits, but they weren't all available. And I'm like, it's the Saturday before crossover. This is just going to have to do. So that's why Evan and Adam get like some extra screen time.
But yeah, the main idea, at least for Metro 1 and 2, and also 3, but 3 is a little more complicated, was we played these in between the games. So Jake needed a little bit to change because you had a bunch of different outfits you wore.
Yes.
Which related to the different bits that were also done during those crossovers. But yeah, we wanted to show these. We wanted to give people some more lore because, especially because we were playing 4 different games that night. We wanted to space it out a little bit. Do you remember what time we ended?
11:30.
Yeah, we ended really late.
And we still had like 20 people in that room.
No, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, midtros were supposed to be smaller, a little more digestible, just so...
Except Midtro 3.
Yeah,
that one
Midtro
was always
3,
going to be long.
Yes. So the first 2, at least, we want them to be smaller, digestible, give like little crumbs of lore information, which is what's done. It's more just to kind of like flesh out what the fuck is happening because of how much of a clusterfuck like intro was. So that's definitely what 1 and 2 were about. So it's all of us just like talking. Nothing too crazy, to be honest. At least that I can think of.
Yeah, we make another plot convenient joke. In the very beginning, you could at the tail end of when all the board members are talking over each other, you can hear Evan say, "I want to fuck Willard," and Nicole just kind of turns around a little bit. Shout out to Evan. Basically, every time Evan would improv, he'd first be like, "Wait, can I say this?" I'd be like, "Evan, I really don't care. I love you. Just say whatever the fuck you want."
Yeah.
Shout out to Evan. Anyways, okay, so then we get into the bits. So this is also where we start to hear the original score by Daniel, Highly and Cellist. Shout out to Daniel. He did a fantastic job. He also did all, like... I gave him a while to do it, and he gave me bits and pieces here and there, but he basically was like, the day before crossover, or maybe even at like 1 a.m. on the crossover, he was like, "Hey, I got the entire score," and he sends me the thing, and I'm like, okay. So I was up until like 4 trying to edit the score. So some of it got cut. He and I are working on the official score, like, to add to the playlist, so you guys can listen to like the whole thing unedited. Because there are like a lot of bits that I just had to cut because either it was audio problems or just I didn't think it fit. If we had more time and I was in the same room, because I could not meet up with Daniel whenever I wanted to, because he's busy. I was doing stuff, it just doesn't work. But yeah, so this first bit's just basically me and James, like, hey, yeah, so the intro just happened and the gauntlets are fucked, blah blah blah. Another mention of Jordan's death. And then this is where Damien comes in.
Yes.
So
I don't know why I picked Damien specifically. I'm glad I did though, but I wanted a straight man. I wanted someone. Yeah, everyone else was bisexual. No, I wanted.
I mean, no, okay.
No, I wanted someone to be like, oh yeah, I knew this was happening the entire time. Like someone just observing, basically.
He's
and
the man who knows
helping.
the lore.
Yes. If we don't know the lore, it's definitely Damien. So I
feel like I think we said at the beginning when we were writing the script, I think we're like, someone has to know everything. Yeah. And I think we both just kind of went like, Damien would be funny.
Yeah.
For no reason. We don't know why. David's just a likable guy. He can play the nerd.
And I think it is funny. I think it's really good because, yeah, he multiple times he chimes in. He's like, actually, I knew about this the whole time. And then he talks about all the inconsistencies that happened. And even during his part in Metro 3, Josh is like, dude, you should know all this shit. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, whatever. Shut up.
No. And I think what just seals the deal for me is Daniel made a lay motif.
Yes.
So it's just like some like plucked strings, but like do 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 do, and it's just so fucking funny to
Yes.
me for some reason. But yeah, so in the intro here, he's just like, guys, it's actually super noticeable that we're going through the multiverse, as you can see here in round 2 with real footage, real unedited footage. Better Alex shows up twice, and for those in VGC, why do we call him Better Alex? Dude, there's just two Alexes.
So many Alexes.
And one of them, the joke is that one of them is like
Better than the
homophobic.
other.
No, it's just that the one that's not better is homophobic. He's not. He's a lovely man. But James, you're
I'm
shaking your
my
head. Shaking your head.
SMH my head.
We don't like homophobia. That's anyways.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I've had that Easter egg in the round 2 video for like a year basically. And I did it on purpose because 1, it was either just going to be an Easter egg like, oh, haha, there's 2 better Alexes, or 2, multiverse.
Yeah, content.
I kind of was always hoping part 4 was going to be multiverse travel. And that's where we are. So I'm like, perfect.
The
The
other
clues were
thing that I'll talk about real quick is the counter that you have.
Yes.
The Better Alex counter and then the Jake counter. That's what is it? CinemaSins?
CinemaSins. Yeah, it's just CinemaSins. Yeah. It was funny. I don't know.
The first time you sent me that, the rough of that, I just remember it being so loud.
Yeah, I still think the Mega Man sound effects were louder.
I
though.
know. Yeah, that definitely was super loud.
Yeah, we had to do some audio tweaking the day before crossover, but it was fine. Yeah, then we have the Jake counter from part 3. And then Damien's like, what? You guys didn't realize? And everyone's like, no. Like, why would we? Because, to be fair, like, why would you notice 2 better Alexes unless I pointed it out?
Yeah.
Then the whole bit with, like,
Josh,
I brought Josh
yeah.
back. So that's a bit dating back to round 2. During Jeopardy, anytime Josh came up as an answer, which I think was 3 times, 2 or 3, instead of who is Josh, it was who was Josh, rest in peace. So the whole night we just acted like Josh was dead. There was no reason to this. I just thought it was funny. So that was like just kind of a running joke. So then we were like, oh yeah, we'll just write it in that Damien's the reason why Josh is still here. So this might not be Josh 616.69, except I think I credited him as that.
Yeah.
So maybe he is. But yeah, like, isn't he dead or something? Like, yeah, no, that's the joke. So we brought him back.
Yeah, I
Craig the
wanted
puppet.
Damien to be like, yeah, this joke sucks. This bit's over.
Yeah.
I don't care. I brought him back. And then, yeah, Puppet Josh, who's just Craig.
Yeah, he
pulls
shows up here and that's it.
Yep, he never shows up again.
Never shows up again. It's literally just the, like, a 1 second thing. Daniel gives him a lay motif as well.
We probably should have, utilized at least the puppet in midtros more, but especially because we were filming all of this shit in 2 hours, it was very hard.
I think part of the bit was gonna be, like, if Josh wasn't there, we were just gonna use the puppet. But Josh was there, so it ended up working out. You know what? It would have been really funny if we used them for portals. Like, you just see him, like, running across.
It's
oh,
fine.
well. Anyways. So then we have Muhammad with another green screen. The lighting's a bit off, so you can kind of tell. We have the Deltarune sound effect. And I did this a couple days before crossover, and I was losing my mind with the Sanctuary
what?
Guardian.
How?
Yeah.
I remember you sent me that, and you were like, dude, is
Please.
this okay to put in? I'm like, yeah, I don't care. It's
Yeah.
fucking Metro 1. Like,
Yeah. Then we have the original Is This Real with the Luigi Monado.
Yes.
This has been a running joke in VGC since 2022.
no, even before then.
Yeah,
because
2021. It was before I was on the board.
Even before then, because when Tom became president, we wanted to make a new involvement fair board.
Mm-hmm.
So we cut out a bunch of images that we used, and that's the one that we still use today.
I think we need a new one.
They definitely need a new one. I'm gonna give it to Alex so he can at least take a look at it. But there's 2 memes on there.
Okay.
There's the Wario, I've won at what cost, where he looks sad, and then there's also the Monado, Luigi with the Monado, Is This Real image. So that's been on the board since like 2021, like early fall 2021.
No, it was fall 2021.
So,
for sure.
Because whenever people ask me about that image, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, my uncle works at Nintendo and he got me this." So,
Yeah.
So it's always been like that, but it started to become a meme,
because Ryan posted the image and you responded with, "Is this real?" Capital I, no question mark.
Yeah.
And I Was it in general or just?
I don't know. My guess would be general.
I think it was in general, but it's VGC history, right? I took a screenshot of it on December 23rd, 2021. Don't ask why I know the date. It's just very funny to me. Anyways, but yeah, no. So that image has become a meme, and it kind of moved over into Marvel and Star Wars as well, because I did put the "Is This Real" in the Star Wars crossover. Like, people know about it. They know about the "Is This Real?" So at this point, we had a Scooby-Doo moment, right? Where everyone kind of crowds around the laptop, or the computer in this case. And it's just like, holy shit, is this real? And it's every single IRL "Is This Real" pose. There's a lot here. And a good chunk of them are just me. I think the first in-person one is the one where I'm actually dressed as Luigi at Happy Valley Comic-Con. And after that, we're like, oh, we can do these in real life now. So it's just everyone with, like, swords and staffs and stuff. There's a couple from the VGC and this Marvel beach trips that was shown in Jake Eater. Yeah. There's some at parties because I think Mark just had, like, a fan for some reason. The 24-hour, the cleanup at the stadium. Shout outs to those who showed up to the cleanup.
Funny fun fact. I still have never taken an "Is This Real" pose.
This is true.
And I don't think I ever will.
That's so sad.
No, I think it's just lore.
It is lore.
I think it's poetic in a way. That
Part 7 is like trying to get you to do the pose.
Force me
and when you
it.
do, you just explode. You kill any like graduating board members.
Yeah, sorry, bozos. No, I think it's poetic that I don't want to say I started it all, but I
mean, you kind of did.
I more or less like kicked it off, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then the community of VGC kind of made it to what it is today. But I think it's fine that I never did a pose. I don't think I ever will, just because I don't think I want to taint myself.
At this point you can't. Yeah. And then Damien starts speaking again with the leitmotif. And the beach trip he's talking about, it's the Marvel Club one over the summer. That's where we had Cole, Trevor, myself, Madison, and Jordan doing the pose with the shovels. And in the Jake Eater trailer, that's when Damien's like, because that's why Damien's the straight man. I'm so sorry. In the trailer for Jake Eater, when Jordan's dead, he's just like, I know that's bullshit because we literally took a photo on the beach trip. That's why Damien knows everything, because we're like, oh, why does he know everything? Fuck it. Multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the origin of Damien just knowing shit. Because of the beach trip photo with the "Is This Real?" And that was with some VGC and Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. board members.
Yeah, and then the end of Midtro 1 is just us getting a Skype call from who? I don't know.
From who? Oh, man, I don't know.
We know.
Yeah, we know.
The reason I use Skype was because I didn't want to use Zoom, and I always thought it was so funny when Damien just gets interrupted by the do-do-do, do-do-do.
Yeah.
So I always thought it would be really funny to do that, and then we definitely could have used Zoom, but Zoom doesn't have a ringtone thing.
And also, I just think canonically, Zoom just didn't happen in this universe. That's my
sure.
headcanon.
Yeah,
Zoom
I'm
Zoom
pretty
lost.
sure during in Allie's like timeline, it says that like Skype was super popular compared to Zoom or something. So she made the lore, but yeah,
Allie made so much lore, and I'm just calling most of it canon because it's so funny.
No, it is the first time that we saw that. Just to deviate for a second, was at the 24-hour. It was supposed to be my lore hour.
It was
but
4 a.m.
No, it was 3 a.m.
No, 3 a.m. is when you started lore.
Oh, right.
Allie
right.
started her lore at 4.
Yeah, so we she was just going over it with all of us, and it's incredible. It's so funny. It's on our social media now, VGC social media, if you want to go check it out.
I tried downloading the image on Discord and it crashed my phone.
Really?
I might just wait till I get it on my laptop.
Interesting. No, but it's good. It fleshes out a lot of the parts that Jake and I didn't want to flesh out, but
it didn't have time.
But also like we're not gonna talk about every single fucking Earth, but Allie did, and she's awesome for it. It's really cool. So, okay. Anyway, Midtro 2 opens up with us answering that Skype call,
and you know it's Skype because it says so in the logo.
Yeah, Jake did some funny So Jake edited Midtro 1 and 2, and then I edited Midtro 3. Majority of Midtro 3.
Yeah, you did a majority of 3 because I started, and you're like, dude, I was good. I'm like, Oh, you're so right. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
But so you made some funny overlay.
Yeah, so
for
I
this
had
one.
I had the Smash Brawl sound effect for like when the fighter's introduced in Subspace Emissary. That's what shows up here. Oh, and because I didn't mention it before, I had the Ace Attorney location typing sounds
Yes,
for a
yes,
couple of the
yes.
transitions, so that's what that's from. But yeah, so in this universe, Allie and Mark are the presidents of the
VGC and SOS.
yes. Why? We thought it was funny. Originally, it was gonna be an alum board member from either Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. or VGC. However, that just really wasn't gonna happen because I did not want one of them to be Jordan, just because.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, because he's still around, and also he's playing one of the Jakes, and he was also gonna play. He also plays himself later. So I was like, I was really hoping for it to be Ryan. Because he's the only other like alum board member that we could realistically use that people would know.
Yeah, I think we wanted to do Ryan and Trevor.
Yes, Ryan
for
and
a
Trevor.
while, and then I think we reached out to both of them, and then Ryan was just like, "I think I'm too busy," and we're like, "That's fair." And I think Trevor said something along the same lines.
He either said the same thing or just didn't respond.
Yeah.
Shout out to Trevor. Discord's not a strong suit.
So after that, another another idea that I had was I wanted it to be Jake and I. I thought it'd be really funny.
Oh
if,
my God,
the two people were, what is it? James Luigi and Jake Mario.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a fun like juxtaposition of us as well as I don't know, like everyone knows Jake, or at least most of EGC, and I'm sure like Marvel.
No,
as
everyone
well.
knows.
Yeah,
Everyone knows.
It's Jake Luigi. That's his Discord username. So Luigi is his legend. So I thought it'd be funny to kind of spin it on its head. I know it's me just like replacing Luigi with Mario, but that's fairly significant in your life.
In real life, no, that's like a
So
wow, yeah.
I thought that would have been funny, but we ultimately didn't do it because we wanted to try and include as many more people as we could. And also, like that would have been a bitch to film.
Oh my God, yeah, green screening and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the other
Ultimately, I'm glad we did, but concept wise, I think that's my favorite. Just because I think that's funny.
I really would have loved to see like Ryan and Trevor or Ryan and Anna, because like you never see those people really interact that much.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but you know, well, we got some members from the clubs, and that's what matters. We got more participation,
Yes.
and that's where the whole vaguely familiar bit comes in, because it's like, why are they here? Who are these people?
The way that we also filmed this was kind of interesting. Because we filmed this in a Zoom. Literally, once again, same night as all the other Midtro stuff was filmed. We literally just set up a Zoom call, and we had Mark and Allie go into another room, and then we stayed in 62, and we just read the lines, basically. We recorded the meeting, read the lines, and then Jake stitched them together to how they look now. So
yeah.
That's pretty funny. You can see some funny bloopers in the blooper from when we like started the meeting and some random talk that we had in between. Everyone tells Damien to shut up. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then Josh is like, "Hey, it's all good, man."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Poopa stinka. James, you need to explain to everyone, because I know you briefly mentioned it in the bloopers. The people need to know.
Yeah, I mean, all I have to say is like I said, I wrote most of these scripts in like 3 days. So I was pumping them out and like cooking them. And I think what I said on podcasts is when people hear that, I want them to like mentally reset.
That's exactly what you said.
Because that's exactly what Mark did when he read it.
Yeah, no, he's just like, he starts reading, he's like, I'm sorry, I gotta
Yeah,
recalibrate.
So Ali was saying I was in a Jar Jar Binks mood that day, but I'm not sure. I could probably take her word for that. But yeah, it's just like I didn't want another like you bitch, you asshole, you fucker.
Yeah.
Like I wanted something else, and I don't know why. Poopa-stinka is always just a word that's in my vocabulary. I don't use it often, but I use it. And this is a case.
Yes. No, but I remember it was in the first draft, and I think you highlighted it and said, we can change this. And then I was like, no. This needs to stay, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny.
I know, I think it's hilarious.
You never see Poopa-stinka anywhere. So, shout out to Jar Jar Binks. You probably said it once or twice.
Good chance.
But
All right, and then this is where the 4 events come in.
Yes.
So you can see the very shoddily edited "you're sharing your screen" thing that I added.
That's funny.
Yeah, so the 4 targets. So the big one. So I'll go from right to left, I guess. So the big one, that's Old Main. That's where Jordan dies. The one to the left of that, that's closer to the bottom than the other one. That's like directly left of that one. That one is in Willard 62. That is where oh my god, words are so hard.
what, 62?
Yeah, 62. That is where
Josh.
yeah, that's where we had to replace the rat. The one above that to the left, that's Willard 371. That's where we were shooting we were getting the photos of the green screen Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. members for round 2. And then the leftmost one that you can't really see because it's kind of small, that's Westgate. That's where we had Jake VGC taking over the fall 2023.
24-hour.
Yeah, 24-hour event. Yeah, glad we finally had a 24-hour event in 2024.
Sure.
Yeah, and then Julia was saying, how does that make any sense? It doesn't. That's so real. We just kind of were like, we want to have people split off and do things.
Mm-hmm.
Less acting for you and me, but we still did direct, which
Yeah.
is arguably even worse.
I love how Josh gives this line where he says, how are we even supposed to do that? Referencing how are we supposed to go back and fix these events. He's like, Jake and James are the only ones with the gauntlets. he said, I don't know, he sounds like...
Yeah, he sounds like a toddler.
Yeah,
I think that's how we did it on purpose.
I was also gonna say, what is it? Like, pretentious asshole isn't the right word, but it's like baby girl asshole.
Yeah.
Where like there's an obvious problem and you're giving no solutions to help.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But like I said, shout out to the board for like dealing with us and participating with the stuff. Making it their own.
Yeah, and we did film these midtros out of order because we got like all the board members all at once, and then when they left, James and I had to film the rest of it by ourselves, basically. But yeah, no. So this bit with Evan here, we're gonna talk about this more with midtro 3. But as you can see, Evan is missing a finger, and it is on his other hand. The reason why is because before we filmed midtro 2, we already filmed Amanda and Evan's scenario. During the filming, Amanda like pulled off Evan's glove off of Better Alex, and it rips. You can watch this in bloopers.
Yeah.
Because of that, I decided to go like, you know what? I can make this work timeline-wise. So if you're familiar with Lego Dimensions, where Batman goes to the Doctor Who level or whatever, and Doctor Who like gives him it's like he gives him an extra grapple gun. They go through the level, and Doctor Who's like, who the fuck are you guys? He's like, oh, I'm Batman. Here's my grapple gun, and gives it to Doctor Who, so Doctor Who goes back in time to beat Batman. They give him the thing. It's a time loop, basically. So that's what I had to work around. So the reason why I don't have Evan's gauntlet is because he already has it.
Yes.
Because the thing from midtro 3 already happened.
He gives it to himself. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. I'll explain it when we get to midtro 3.
Yeah, I want to say we worked around a lot of bullshit, but in the end it worked out, and I think it's really funny how it all worked out. But yeah, this shot that we have here of Evan,
flipping us off,
yes.
and then just Amanda and David are like, what?
Looking
what's
at
happening?
each other. Yes, I love that. I don't know why Evan's default is like flipping people off, but it is.
It works.
And we talked about it with him, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, but.
Yeah. And I didn't want to make like an actual suit up montage again, so that's when Mark and Allie show up. Shouts to Mark.
Because you don't like the suit up.
Well, no. I also just didn't know how to choreograph
that's fair,
it.
That's fair.
Yeah, but the thing with Mark, for some reason, every new scene he's in, he uses a new accent.
Yeah.
So he just kind of walks with an Italian, like, "Hey, nice gloves," and we're just like,
my favorite one,
Mark.
which we'll talk about in 3. It has to be
The Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah, it's like
Of course we have
Scottish or
metal
something.
pipes. And then we have Mark and Allie basically explaining the canon events again.
Yes, we have Daniel. Daniel put in a like planning or like I don't know how to describe it, but it's the Marvel plus VGC theme, but it's like like, oh, we're in the planning stages. It's like, I don't know how else to explain it, but
It's
when
like
you listen
getting
to
ready,
it,
basically.
yeah, it's like getting ready. So this is where Al is explaining the whole thing with the 7th board member. I'll keep this short and vague. The original person who was number 7 in the first cut of the intro, not a great guy. So when we were redoing a couple things for the canon, Jordan edited Remy from Ratatouille over him. So we just called him the Rat from then on. So then I was like, you know what? For Endgame, I want to go back and fix that. So it's just Josh from the beginning. Because Josh didn't want to be in the original one because he's kind of camera shy, which is fair. So that we have that bit where it's like, oh man, who is it? Because the whole joke is I'm not going to name drop the original person. So we just bring up Remy. Then the second one, I'm trying to remember what the order is. Yeah, okay, so this is Jordan's death. So, well, I mean, I guess we'll get to that one, but that's just Jordan is dead.
Yeah, I mean,
he wasn't supposed to come
which
back.
is what we talk about in like teaser for 3 about Jordan dying, death by rubber hammer, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we can talk about it a little later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. But reviving Jordan was always on the table. Yes. I did not expect him to be in town.
No.
Yes, and then we have the better Alex doppelganger, which we've already talked about quite a bit. And then we have the time loop from the last 24-hour event. So we can talk about this a little bit because...
Let's talk about the planning of that because, oh my God, it wasn't that bad, but we had that planned for a while.
Yeah, because we knew we needed a 4th canon event. We had the other 3 pretty early on because I always wanted to fix round 1. I always had better Alex twice, and I always wanted to revive Jordan somehow. Then we were like, what on earth can be number 4? Do you remember whose idea this was?
I want to say it was mine because the thing that comes to my brain when I think about it now is that Eggman gif, the one where he's literally just like, rah, 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 rah. You don't want to talk about?
Oh, do you mean like from Sonic Adventure 2 where he's like, I have an announcement?
Yeah.
Yes,
that.
Okay.
So I was thinking about that, and then also there was something I watched. I can't remember what it was, but it was. I always thought that Jake VGC just like crashing into like some sort of meeting or some sort of event would be really funny, and like I think the members would get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
So that's basically the brain path I followed to get to that. So I was like, Jake, you should record a funny video like asking for like people's credit card numbers or something. So you filmed that video when you still had the goatee.
Yes.
And the plan always was, Madison, I love you, and I'm sorry that I had to happen during our song of Snake Eater, but it was always planned to happen during that.
It was always planned. So what happened was, and I have the footage on my phone still, so I'll slide that in here. James and Madison sing Jake Eater for karaoke, because everyone knows Jake Eater by this point, and it slaps.
It does.
It's just Snake Eater, but with like 10 words switched.
changed,
But I don't care. I love it. It just having that little personal touch is really nice. So they finish the first chorus, and Madison keeps singing, and then there's like the fuzz, and then it's just like, "Hey gamers, it's me, Jake, the president of VGC," and everyone's like, "Huh? What?" Because I guess the lore is because you're gone, I took over. I think
like that. I don't know.
Huh? Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I think that's kind of what I was thinking and just never explained fully. But anyways, so then he's talking. He's like, "Hey, Mega Man needs your help. Send Dr. Light your 16-digit credit card number and your 3-digit number on the back, your Dr. Light number, your DLN, because DLN is a real thing in Mega Man." And then I would be like, "Please send this info to drwileysucksballs@gmail.com."
Which is an email that we used for a lot of the footage.
Yes, because we ran out of storage space on my personal one. Yeah. So, that email was real, and if someone actually sent me an email, I would be like, "Hey, dude, thanks for supporting me. Hey, do you remember what the name of those squids are from Mario? Because I can't remember." And if they said, "Hey, they're bloopers," I'd be like, "Oh, thanks. Here's a clip from the behind the scenes of Jake Eater," and it was the "I Want It That Way" scene, but with the real song. And we had 2 people to do it. I believe it was Alex Crash, and
I don't know who the other one is.
I can double check. I want to say it might have been Garrett. It was
don't
either
know.
Garrett or it was.
While you look for that, the reason
Yeah,
why
you
we
keep
wanted to
talking
do
about
that email was I love ARGs, augmented reality games, where it's where you interact with something that's obviously not actually happening in real life, and it's kind of like a puzzle, a game, a clue. I remember, at least in my brain, I don't know if I expressed this to you, Jake, but I wanted to be so much more than that. Just like not just like an email sent. Because,
Yeah.
And a lot of the ARGs, like they have you go to different websites.
We
and,
just
like,
didn't have
send people
enough
stuff.
time.
No, we did not have enough time. So
I think what we did was really funny, and I did find the person.
no, I think it was funny too, and I think it was fun for the two people that did find it. So it was Alex and who?
It was Alex and Matt, so the two
Matt,
people
okay.
from podcast 2 getting snapped.
Yes.
Yeah, no, because Garrett was one of the other people that messaged. There, I got a couple emails. I did find a message from you actually, where it's like, "Hey, homie, hope you're doing well," but canonically, fuck you.
Yeah,
and then it was like 30. It was like 10 images from your random.
The Discord messages between like me and Jake VGC is so funny.
We gotta show these.
Maybe I'll show them at some point. You can feel free to screenshot them, but it's basically just me asking Jake VGC like, "Hey bro, we're doing this thing, like can you show up?" And then you're like, Jake VGC doesn't look at the account that often, so after like a month he's like, "Sorry, I was asleep."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Hey, I know you're messing up the multiverse, but like VGC got a podcast going on. I'd love for you to like be a part of it." And then you're like, "No, you hate me."
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. I could probably screenshot them in here.
I don't know. I always think, dude, there's so many bits that people don't see that's between it. But I just thought that was funny. But yeah, Metro 2.
Yeah, this is our interlude. This is where we separate the short from the long.
Yes.
Quite frankly. Okay, so the lightsaber. This is coming up. So because of the Star Wars crossover, Jake SOS has a lightsaber, and I was like, you know what? I want to work this in. So I was like, hey, who's gonna want the lightsaber? And I realized, oh my god, to stop Jake VGC, they should do something with the lightsaber. So I had to have Cole or Adam do something. So Cole's like, I want the lightsaber. I'm like, cool, okay. So we wrote that in. And that's going to show up in Midtro 3. There's also an editing error here because I hand him the lightsaber turned off, and it's just on now. But that's okay. Cole makes a funny face towards the lightsaber, and everyone just kind of leaves. You can also hear people talking in the hallway when this happens.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's not a big deal, but it's something I noticed. And then, yeah, that's Midtro 2.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to say. I mean, Metro 1 and 2, they are, I wouldn't say bread and butter, but they're just like, they're filler. That's more or less what they are. Like,
but it's important filler.
It's important filler because especially in 2, we go super deep into more of the lore and like why it's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah,
one is just like we need a palate
stage.
cleanser. Yeah.
Well, if anything, they're really just setting the stage for 3. That's literally all that's happening.
Yeah.
Because I always knew I wanted 3 to be crazy.
Yeah, no, because I know you were like, 3 is my baby. I'm like, all right, James, if
is.
you think 15 minutes is good, 15 minutes is good. And 15 minutes, 12 seconds, or 11. Depends on which part of YouTube you look at. How is that not standardized?
I don't know. That's so weird. But yeah, I think the Midtros were a great addition. I know we're not done talking about the last one, but that's because the last one is so fucking long. But at least the first 2, I think they were really good. And I think it was very interesting. Obviously, we don't have a member's perspective because we're not a member, but I really wonder how the Midtros were for them. I never really asked any of them.
Well, before we release this, I'm hoping to at least ask people.
No, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. But I wonder if it was necessary is not the right word I'm looking for, but if
worthwhile.
Worthwhile, I guess is another one. Like, if we didn't have those, would you still feel as hype about it as you did with them? You know? But
yeah, it definitely really helped with the costume changes, though, I will say.
for sure. But no, I would, what I was going to say was I think they are great. I think just the 5 videos in general are really good. But out of all the 5, like 1 and 2 are snooze fests.
They have their
the
moments,
other 3.
though. They definitely have their moments.
I think like Damien steals the show in 1.
For sure. Yeah, no, and it also has the "Is this real?" And that's like a 2-year like or 2 or 3, depending on who you ask, year-long thing. But Midtro 2 was more like the, all right, guys, we got to exposition a little bit. But it's also like the reveal of who Mark and Allie are because, you know, funny.
Yeah. Last thing I will say, unless if you have more to talk about with Mitro stuff, is the lengths of these scripts compared to like the other scripts is crazy.
My
Like,
God.
I think Mitro 1 and 2 were about, I want to say 3 or 4 pages.
Yeah,
And
which
then-
is about standard for us by this point.
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes 27 seconds. God damn, I wish.
Intro was, let's see how long.
Well,
8 pages.
to be fair, intro was also just like we go to this universe. Line, go to this universe. It wasn't like adding in, or it wasn't like oh my god, accounting for all the breaks in between and shit.
And then Mitro 3, which we'll talk about here in a second, is 13 pages long. Oh, Jesus. That's the longest script I know I've ever written. I have written other scripts other than this, believe it or not. But it's that one was crazy. But yeah, like Jake said, it's my baby. And I love it. I'm excited to talk about it. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about Mitro 2 and Mitro 1. But they're crucial.
Yeah, no, they're necessary. I mean, like, quite honestly, if we didn't do $1 Million Pyramid, like we didn't do the one member to rule them all, we could have just put together Midtro 1 and 2. Because then that would have given me enough time after Midtro 3, which would then be Midtro 2, to change into the dress. So then people wouldn't be waiting. Because I realized way too late. I'm like, oh, Midtro 3 isn't when we're playing Wheel of Fortune. It's Midtro 2. So I was like, and we'll get to this later, but Lex was doing my makeup. I'm like, oh, we're not going to have enough time for this. I felt really bad because it was like just 10 minutes of nothing. And I'm like, guys, please.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Like, everyone was doing their own thing.
They also knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yes. So.
Yeah.